Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. I'm your host, Mark, and we got two unfamiliar faces. Well, T, I know you. We did a listen to lore together not too long ago. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you, brother. Good to be here. Skip the call in and first time, first show.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You did the alternative route of sharing your lore on listening lore, and then we had a great time.
Fast route. Yeah, nice.
How many pages are we up to, just so people can keep up?
I've cut down, but I think it's going to be close to 50 because I'm planning on doing like book style, so it's going to be like a whole page picture with like the info on one side, so it's going to like spread it out so that when the book is actually a book, it's going to like have a nice flow to it.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, yeah, go check that episode out. We also got, for the first time joining us, Fishy. Hey.
Hello, how are we doing?
Very good. I had people mention Mark doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about with tanks, so get somebody who's actually been in a tank. And we got you, so...
Yep. Yeah, so everything from modern MBTs all the way through to Second World War, SPGs, medium tanks, the works. So I've worked on quite a few different platforms. Love some, hate some others a lot more than others, but yeah.
Nice.
And then
you can let us know how. Yeah, you can let us know if like the armor actually is thick or not. I'm like, 65 millimeters. That seems thick. I don't fucking know, but you're here to lend some actual and real world perspective. So that's gonna be cool. Yeah, this episode we're doing an Astartes armory. We're doing tanks again, and we're doing artillery. Astartes, I feel like, aren't necessarily known for their artillery pieces. Although they do have them, and there are some legions like the Iron Hands or the Iron Warriors who are known for like artillery and siege. But yeah, Astartes are normally known for like the surgical, quick, fast strikes. So it'll be fun to go through some of these siege weapons and see what all they got. The one missile system in here, I don't want to ruin it, but it blew my mind when I read it. It just involved human brains, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's gonna be something crazy, right? Like,
yeah,
they're not like Kriegers just throwing like massive shells across large distances. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, there's some technical missiles in this section. So yeah, those are pretty cool. But before I get into it, some quick housekeeping. Come join the Discord. It's the best place to kind of keep up to what's what. Fishy, this is like the first time we've talked really, but we just messaged on the Discord a few days ago, and boom, now you're on the show.
Jump straight into it. It's all about the Discord. It's fantastic.
Yeah, cool, man. There are links to the Discord in the description below. Come join.
Also, join the Patreon, join the Imperial Tithe. It's how I ended up on the show. So through doing that, speaking to Mark, and I managed to bring my listener lore to the world, and now here I am, main episode, 2 episodes in. And that's the best way to do it. Quick.
I think it's a budding friendship at this point. We say.
Yeah.
I know where you work. I know where you sleep. We're getting some personal details in.
Yeah, slowly gathering a full dossier. Like eventually, I'll wake up and you'll be there. It's fine. It's no biggie. It's also super cost effective as well. So you can watch this ad free for $2.50. And the live stream, you can join us here. You can call in, actually take part. $5. Like in English money, that's like less than a beer.
Yeah, I'm in that third world country, so I don't need too much money. Just throw me a buck or two, and I'll make it go a long way. I'll tell you that.
I think that's like £4.50. You'd struggle to get a beer for that these days.
Yeah. Here I can buy a whole goddamn goat or something.
And what you do with that goat, we don't want to know.
Yeah, that's entirely up to you. What happens on the island stays on the island.
And speaking of the live stream, obviously here we are. Join that $5 Patreon for access. It's a fantastic resource. I've ended up here. We have a live chat room during the show, so any questions, queries, anything you want to point out, you can chuck it on there. And then, of course, at the end, we generally try to get a call-in guest at the end of the episode. I skip that step. I'm the exception. But, we'll have people come in, and it's absolutely fantastic to hear from everyone.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's dive into it. This episode, we are learning about artillery tanks from the Astartes. We're going to talk about Whirlwinds. They got a bunch of different marks and patterns and stuff, so we're going to get into like their Helios, their Hyperios, their Scorpios pattern. they have a really cool formation. I never really talked about formations with the other tanks because normally they would just like your formations for tanks. I know it just seemed not very interesting, but these guys had a very cool one. Then we talked about the Stalker and the Hunter. Both of those are more anti-aircraft. Do those count as artillery still technically?
Yeah. I mean,
I'd say so. Yeah,
certainly from a British point of view, all of our anti-air are within artillery regiments. So
okay, perfect.
They're not,
Okay,
they're
so
not
this is
front line.
all world lore friendly. I love it. I love it when
Yeah.
they do that. And then finally the Vindicator, which, oh man, one of the best tanks in all of 40K in my opinion.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
pretty
stunning.
awesome.
The only tank better than it is its big brother, the Land Raider Ares, where it's the same tank but on Land Raider frame.
Nah, anything Baneblade chassis is better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or the Typhon Heavy Siege tank is also great.
Yeah. Just small improvements.
Yeah. We are only talking in this episode about firstborn war gear tanks and stuff, so there won't be too many Horus Heresy stuff and no Primaris vehicles. We'll get to them eventually, but yeah, this will be firstborn. So yeah, let's get into it and just kind of set a baseline for what Astartes tanks are.
Yeah. So a quick recap. Astartes tanks are the brutal engines of war, built to carry the superhuman fury of the Adeptus Astartes directly into the heart of battle. Unlike the massed armor of the Imperial Guard or High Gothic speakers Astra Militarum, Space Marine tanks favor aggression, speed, and overwhelming firepower, striking with precision before the enemy can react. Land Raiders grind forward through impossible punishment to deliver warriors into close combat. Predators provide relentless armored fire support. Every tank is more than a machine. It is a revered relic of war, maintained through ancient rites and crewed by warriors who see themselves as hunters rather than drivers.
So just to touch on that, crewmen nowadays very much aren't just drivers. I will just echo that. That is very much a feeling of crew nowadays.
Okay. A little bit more.
Yeah. Your vehicle is your home. It's your tool. You absolutely love it. You will name her. And it's always female. Don't ask me why. Largely because we're not the Navy. But there we go.
Aren't vehicles always like females for some reason? Like ships are females, cars are females, everything's always a female.
You just won't want to ride anything else.
It's clearly
true enough.
The toxic patriarchy. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Have you actually named your own tank in real life, and like, do you put it on a little brass scroll or something?
Well, we name them. They have official naming systems within different regiments and squadrons, etc. But yeah, we had a nickname for ours. I won't repeat it live because it was choice language. She had a habit of jamming up, and that's all I'm going to say. But,
oh my!
Yeah. So no, you live in the thing. So I mean, we for example, we spend 72 hours locked inside doing CBRN drills, so nuclear drills. You have to stay inside that vehicle for 72 hours.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's fun.
Let's just say you get to know your crewmates very well.
Yeah, Astartes take it to the next level, and they do that, but then they hijack their own mind into it with their neural links and whatever, and then they're like the tank.
They become the tank. They don't just live in it; they are the tank.
The Astartes are living inside them, like
Hey,
don't put that there. Part of the crew.
Yeah, part of the tank, part of the crew. Yeah.
Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
So, Astartes artillery. Astartes artillery exists to break the enemy before the Space Marines ever close for the kill. Though Adeptus Astartes are famed for rapid assaults and brutal close quarters warfare, their armored formations also employ powerful artillery and fire support vehicles to destroy fortifications, suppress advancing armies, and eliminate aerial threats. Whirlwinds rain missiles across distant battlefields, Vindicators smash open defensive lines, and devastating siege cannons, while Hunters and Stalkers guard the skies against enemy aircraft. Used in coordination with infantry assaults and armored spearheads, Astartes artillery ensure that when the Space Marines strike, the foe is already shattered. That just goes hard. It just goes hard.
Yeah, it seems a bit overkill, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you've already got this super soldier charging you down, and you've just peeping out of the trench after all your buddies have been blown to smithereens around you.
Pummel you to hell, and then after that, if you survive, there's like a 9-10 foot super soldier that's just gonna like curb stomp your face.
Yeah, he might eat your brain too. Just
he
so
might
he
eat your brain, just so he knows like what the artillery needs to soften up next.
Yep, he might do that. So yeah, no, it's great. I like it. One with the Astartes, one with the
a British Army doctrine from World War II is very much this. It's just the doctrine of steel, not flesh. So you literally just bombard everything and use tanks, guns, planes, everything, so that when you guys walk in, there's literally nothing left standing. So that's I guess where this comes from. But I don't think Astartes need to really worry about that too much. But I guess it comes from, like, again, real world, right?
Yeah, like they definitely like their artillery. They're good at it, but yeah, it's not like their primary thing.
They don't need it.
Yeah,
it's a supporting role, which is exactly what artillery should be. I mean, it's very much the sort of super soldier, almost special forces mentality. It's about combined arms. You use the right tool for the right job. If you've got a fortified position, you're not going to waste Astartes potentially on mass waves. If you've got a Vindicator knocking at the door, you're just going to blow the thing apart.
That's the fun thing about some Astartes, like artillery, is they're like close range artillery, like the Vindicator or the Typhon, and those ones we mentioned, where it's like it drives 10 feet away and then launches a shell the size of a cow at you.
Yeah,
because when you can see the whites of their eyes, you don't want anything smaller than a cow.
No, but when it's too big for a super soldier to throw at you, bring a tank. It's fun.
So the Rhino chassis is what most tanks, as we've mentioned, are kind of built off of. It's very versatile. So it forms the backbone of countless armored vehicles used by the Adeptus Astartes, valued for its durability, reliability, and remarkable adaptability. Though originally designed as a simple armored transport, its rugged frame has been modified across millennia into a vast array of specialized variants, serving entirely different battlefield roles. From missile-launching Whirlwind to the siege-breaking Vindicator to the anti-air Hunter and Stalker, the Rhino chassis provides a common foundation upon which the Space Marine build engines of war tailored for assault, fire support, command, reconnaissance, and armored warfare. This versatility has ensured the Rhino pattern remains one of the most enduring and widespread vehicle designs in the Imperium. And we're reading on the last episode, like with Predators, you can basically take your Rhino, slap on turrets. Like you can do that with existing things. You don't have to make a whole new thing. So even though there's so many different patterns, you can just kind of change out these side sponsons or all these kind of things. So it becomes really...
That was one of my thoughts before coming into this episode is, like, if they can already do that with the Rhino, why don't they just have it? They could do, like, both. Like, if you can have side sponsons, you can have, like, side guns and a top gun and rocket pods. That's literally, like, all of it. Just put it all in. Like the rocket pods, artillery rocket pods, turret.
Hang on, haven't they done that? It's called the Repulsor.
Yeah. I'll pull up a picture of it. Where was that? We pulled that up. Yeah.
And for me, this is I'm a bit old school. I love the firstborn Astartes vehicles. I think they're fantastic. Based on that Rhino, they look great. And I'm slightly sad that they've moved away from that sort of specialized. This one is for killing tanks. This one is the artillery. This one is for running your troops over because, quite frankly, you can't be asked to fire the gun, you know? That move away to this tank does everything.
Yeah.
It just, for me, it just takes away the old school look of the Rhino.
It does. And I guess from a tabletop perspective, it adds in that, like, what are you actually going to bring to the fight?
Yeah.
Rather than just bringing one model that does it all. Like, are you going to actually...
Just, I feel like modern 40K, I feel like you walk up and you're just rolling a bucket of dice. And whatever those dice mean, it doesn't really fucking matter. Like, whatever stats are attached to, you know, you're just rolling dice where you have a las gun that can take out a Warlord Titan. nowadays. You know, like it
as
could tend.
a guard player, I feel attacked.
Yeah, you should get your fucking tanks away from me.
There's nothing wrong with running 40 Kriegers up the board to go and take on a chapter master.
I like that. Yeah, drown a chapter master in last gunfire. I'm down for that. But yeah,
that's fine. Like lucky shot to the eye, you're good. But
like I even said on one of the last tank episodes, it's interesting like how dumbed down the tanks were in terms of weapons. Like the original tanks, like they just kind of really didn't have a lot of weapons, and one of the powerful weapons on it was a storm bolter, and you're like,
a guy can carry that. Like that's it.
Yeah, like a sister of battle carries that sometimes. Like we're talking, this is the weapon on a rhino.
A particular commissar carries a storm bolter.
Yeah.
Why do you need a tank platform for that?
Yeah. Like I like the evolution into being able to be a multi-scenario fighting platform. But I think an all-rounder, like it does take a bit of flavor out of it. But also we're talking 41st millennium, 8-foot super soldiers. Like, why can't they? Why shouldn't they? Well, let's be honest.
Yeah. It is fun how they always determine, like you're talking, why don't they toss all the guns on in one? How they determine just what guns they put on and how much storage capacity they have inside of them. When it comes to like the Land Raider, they very much vary that up. And like the Land Raider Helios, which we'll mention later, you know, it has big, huge, I don't know, artillery shells, missiles or whatever, barrage missiles. So you'd load up the back of that Land Raider, and now you don't have any Astartes in it. It feels like maybe that's one of the time they consider like ammo count. You look at a bolter, they don't consider it.
Oh, don't get us started on the bolter magazine debate. I mean that's going to be your biggest limiting factor on, especially like a Rhino chassis. It's just space. Those vehicles are going to be tight anyway. So you put your ammo, you put your fuel, you put your rations, you put the actual weapon. What on earth is that? That is amazing.
That's it's a heresy Rhino. Sweet.
Yeah. That's when you put everything that you just mentioned on the outside, you put it on the inside.
I mean, to be fair, Fishy, 50% of what you just said they need, Astartes wouldn't.
No. I mean, ammo is the big one.
Ammo.
But then even when they run out, they just drive over them, let's be honest.
Yeah, just ram them.
Yeah.
But then again, even that's not good enough because we know Khan has been rammed and he's still kicking.
Little fun fact about the Rhino. The Rhino at Warhammer World is based off of an FV432 real world APC. So little fun fact for you all. British vehicle, naturally being British company and all that.
Nice. Is that
what was that tank called?
Cold War era?
Yeah, sort of late Cold War. So Foxtrot Victor 432.
Oh, I liked it. It's brought up for sale. So let's click that.
Oh yeah.
They're well out of like military use now.
Yeah. They're just armored toasters, frankly.
Man, it just seems like they're so small. Like
there
when you
was
look at this
scrapyard.
like it's like it looks like an Austin Mini or something.
Yeah,
like they're so
they're
short.
not big. Yeah, they're not big.
No, there was a scrapyard up from where I was born that had a couple of these knocking about. They also had a couple of like fucking submarines that were like just knocking about.
As you do.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm from Portsmouth, so it's like the home of the Navy. So there's always just ex-military like stuff knocking about somewhere.
It's always just submarines kicking
There's
about.
always some military cast-offs just like lingering somewhere.
We might not get firearms in the UK, but we get tanks.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay, there's still hope in the world then. All right, well, let's move into our first artillery tank, the Whirlwind.
Yeah, so the Whirlwind artillery tank is a Rhino-based rocket battery built for relentless bombardment and sustained battlefield suppression. One of the few indirect fire engines employed by the Space Marines, the Whirlwind delivers heavy volleys capable of saturating enemy positions, breaking infantry advances, and crippling fast-moving targets both beyond the visual range. Its reinforced launch system can also be turned skyward, allowing the vehicle to serve as a brutal air defense platform when dedicated aerial support is unavailable. It just looks like a scaled up, like Terminator rocket pod.
Yeah, big old cyclone missile launcher. Yeah, this
Yeah,
one
pretty much.
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I love the idea of the Whirlwind, and it comes straight out of real world thinking at the time.
Yeah.
You know, when they brought in the Whirlwind, they were looking at multiple rocket launcher systems
Mobile
massively.
SAM
That's a big
sites
thing.
and things like that.
Yeah. But just as a concept as well, just saturating positions.
See, I love the one with like the two separate rocket pods, but like slightly raised up. Yeah, that one top left, the Ultramarines one. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the look of this one with like the movable like dual rocket pod. They're just like, it's awesome.
Big missiles. Yeah,
but that, again, that's another thing. You could just pop those missile pods on top of any other tank, and it just still has that capability.
I'm sure someone's kit bashed that onto some kind of dreadnought as well.
Yeah,
100%.
Although
100%.
it would have to be one of the 30k dreads, because the box dreads they would look amazing on, but they would also dwarf it.
Yeah, that'd be cool to mount that turret on a dread for sure. Like a cyclone mounted on a Primaris.
Or if you took the two separate pods and did those as the two arms.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm talking.
Yeah. So a bit on the history of the Whirlwind. Forged upon the enduring Rhino STC chassis, the Whirlwind was engineered as a hardened mobile artillery platform built to deliver sustained bombardment across the battlefield. Modern patterns emerged during the Great Crusade following the limitations of the older Scorpius launcher, whose powerful but cumbersome auto-loading systems lacked the volume of fire required for large-scale saturation bombardments against enemy entrenched enemy lines and massed formations. Though now synonymous with the Space Marines, the original Whirlwind missile batteries were first deployed by the Imperial Army before later being mounted upon the Rhino chassis during the closing years of the Great Crusade. Mass production had not yet begun when the Horus Heresy erupted, but the modern Whirlwind would earn its place in war during the Salamander's Legion's brutal purging campaigns upon Toral III. Interesting that
you hear the word salamanders and purging in the same sentence.
Yeah, no. It's interesting that it's Imperial Army first.
And I suppose they're the ones that need, like, with a Rhino, right? Like, and as well as artillery, they're the ones that are going to like need it more than an Astartes. And then they're just going to go, well, we might as well let them have it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially like in 30k times, they had access to like Astartes had access to like super heavy tanks, like Fell Blades and all those big bad boys too. So like, this would have been like a little toy almost back then.
Yeah. But even then, someone looked at it and thought, we can use that. Clearly the original Blood Raven. We're just going to pinch that.
You're telling me those missiles go how far?
Yeah, like, why waste like 6 guys manning this? We put 2 guys in that, and it can shoot just as far. We'll take 5.
Grim says the Sherman tank had a similar rocket system, yet unfortunately wasn't able to fire the main gun when it was equipped.
Yeah, the Calliope rocket pods over the top.
So there were a few. You've got the Sherman Calliope. You had even Cromwell's lesser known British tank from World War II. They had the Tulip rockets mounted on it. I think the Russians did some wacky things as well with some of their
I think they tried to mount some like Katyushas on the back of like
there were some bonkers designs. It was great.
But the Russians did a lot of crazy stuff, guys. Like, let's be frank.
These are pretty great. Yeah, okay. The fuck.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's the Sherman Calliope. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Very inaccurate though. Just literally just shot rockets forward, and they just spread out and just like just saturate the whole area with just explosive rockets.
Yeah, that'll do.
But to be fair, I'm pretty sure that dates back to like the invention of rockets. Like medieval, like early medieval Chinese rocket creation was pretty much just like these mass rocket pods that were basically just shooting like explosive fireworks out, and they just like saturate the whole area of just like explosive rockets just As long as it's pointed at the enemy, like it doesn't have to be accurate. We're just gonna like bombard them with tons of it from like early medieval, like probably we're talking invention of like foundation of gunpowder, like a good 1,000 odd years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't really until sort of World War II where missiles over rockets then became the big thing.
Yeah, and you started like thinking about like, actually
pointing
and aiming and things like that.
So
what is the difference
weapons got expensive.
What's the difference between a missile and a rocket?
I believe a missile's guided, generally speaking. That would be at least my common parlance.
See, it depends what your
rocket
definition of a missile
launcher
is
like
as
a
well,
shoulder,
right?
your aim.
So technically, anything that's like ranged is also a missile.
This is true.
So if you throw a rock, technically that's a missile.
Yeah.
You're okay.
But yeah, like in like.
Now I've just got the image of load of Black Templars getting really angry and just throwing rocks now.
Yeah.
Unleash the missiles.
but yeah, in terms of like propulsion, I'm pretty sure rockets just shoot and missiles have got some degree of like guidance and kind of
that makes sense.
Some smarts.
Cool. Well, the Whirlwind has a couple different marks. Different marks of Whirlwind represent major structural evolutions of the vehicle itself, incorporating redesigned chassis, layouts, launcher assemblies, targeting systems, and battlefield roles, far beyond simple weapon swaps or pattern modifications. The first one is the Mark I Mars pattern. If you're watching, I'll pull that up right now. Originally deployed amongst the armored formation of the Legiones Astartes, the Mark I Mars pattern Whirlwind was an early artillery built upon the same rugged foundations as the Demios pattern Rhino chassis. The vehicle retained the heavy industrial lines and reinforced construction common to the early Great Crusade war machines, distinguished by its massive box-shaped missile launcher assembly, designed for sustained bombardment and battlefield durability. Though ancient in origin, the Mark I Whirlwind continues to serve with many Imperial forces across the galaxy. Its launcher batteries fired linked salvos of Vengeance missiles capable of saturating enemy positions beneath relentless explosive barrages, while pinto-mounted storm bolters and smoke launchers provide close defensive support. And the standard crew consists of driver, co-driver, and dedicated missile team responsible for maintaining the launcher systems and ammunition feeds during combat operations. Cool. So this, I like how they do different marks are like from different editions. Like this is clearly a first edition, maybe second edition tank, you know?
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
Yeah, cool.
It keeps it like living rather than just being like, this is the Whirlwind and then this is the Whirlwind, like having additions and like an evolution.
And like
a little more real.
Yeah, with our technology, actually, like, okay, now we can make better looking tanks than that one nowadays. Now we even make them better. So yeah, it's kind of cool watching the marks, because then we get to the next one, which is the Mark IIB Mars pattern, and then you see a drastic jump in the change.
Yeah,
see,
man,
I like what they've done with it in the fact that you can, like, even the construction, it looks a bit rougher and ready. They're still learning this stuff.
Yeah,
you know, where it does still look rugged. They've put it together, they've bolted it together, and you see that in historical real world vehicles. You look at the early Mark 1s, Mark 5s, and they're just bolt slapped together. Whereas you look at the late war, Second World War stuff, some of the stuff is really refined.
Yeah,
especially German armor, but we won't go into that because that's a whole different show. But
yeah,
I like that already within the actual physical models, the tabletop models and the imagery, you've got a rugged looking tank that slowly improves over time. They're making those little tweaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Mark IIB Mars pattern Whirlwind. It features a heavily revised launcher system, replacing the earlier unified missile assembly with reinforced left and right sided segregated launcher batteries. Additional structural changes, including a dedicated Auspex radar array, redesigned engine exhaust stacks, and the relocation of numerous battlefield systems to the exterior hull, giving the vehicle more functional and heavy industrial appearance suited for sustained combat operations. The vehicle delivers linked salvos of either Vengeance high explosive missiles or Castellan incendiary warheads. I don't know if we want to talk about those now or later, but they sound horrific. Like, if you're talking about saturating enemy positions with incendiary warheads, does not sound like a good day at the office.
Yeah. Set the horizon on fire, please. Okay.
Yeah, I want that to be a nice simmer over there, please, on the horizon.
You see that little spot just over the horizon? Yeah, I want that orange just to backlight our charge.
Can you make it gone? Unlike the older Mark 1, the Mark 2B sacrifices much of its close defensive armament, removing the Rhino pattern Stormbolter, mount, and smoke launchers in favor of increased artillery specification and internal system capability. The Mark 2B is operated by a 4-man crew, consisting of driver, co-driver, and dedicated 2-man missile team responsible for ammunition handling, targeting systems, and launcher maintenance. So that's one thing we didn't get specifically in like the Mark 1 is how many guys we have in this like rocket team.
Yeah, it said rocket team, but yeah, was it?
We don't know. We don't know how many. 2, 3, 4. I mean, again, Flight Astartes, like it feels like one guy could do that.
Yeah, probably.
One guy just hucking rockets into tubes and pressing
just
go.
Shirtless, wearing only power armor bottoms and a tank.
Yeah, maybe his helmet like plugged into like the targeting system,
yeah.
so that you can just be like, yeah, on target, rocket in, go.
What we're saying is we're imagining an Astartes in power armor hot pants.
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
and a dirty white wife beater. Yeah,
that's also what they wear when they need to clean it. They get the hose out. That's their clean outfit.
No, they don't even have the short shorts at that point. It's just the groin protection for the cleaning.
Oh yeah. Yes, and just the knee pads because they're gonna need those.
Oh yeah.
Cod piece and boots. That's all they need.
Excellent.
So moving on to what I think is my favorite pattern of Whirlwind, the Deimos pattern. The Deimos pattern Whirlwind was the primary, good to be able to speak, artillery configuration deployed by the Space Marine legions throughout the Great Crusade and the brutal wars of the Horus Heresy during the late 30th and early 31st millennia. Built for relentless frontline warfare, the vehicle combined the hardened Deimos pattern Rhino chassis with powerful missile bombardment systems capable of supporting large-scale Legion assaults across every theatre of war. I mean, you're supporting Legion assaults.
Artillery makes more sense, right? When you're like firing it over the head of like an entire army rather than just like a squad.
Yeah. It's just, it hits hard. Just this thought of just, let's get in there. Let's churn it out.
And one of the problems with this was it didn't have a high enough missile turnover rate. Like, we need more. This is a lot, but we need more.
Yeah, there's never enough missiles when it's Warhammer, right?
It's scarily, and call me a heretic, but almost orcish. We need more Dakar.
Yeah. But you think about it, like some of the like Horus Heresy books, when you hear like those wars and like those battles where it's literally like weeks upon weeks of like an entire legion slugging it out on like a Xenos planet, and an entire legion of Astartes are taking weeks to take over the place. You can totally understand then like the need for artillery.
Yeah, especially during the Heresy when it's Astartes versus Astartes.
Yeah.
Really
like
hits
when
home
things
then.
start to turn over, and you're now like, I don't want to look at that guy. We were brothers once. Let's just shoot him from further away. Let's blow him up before I have to look at him.
Yeah, that guy's got a power fist. I want him nowhere near me.
Yeah, like I know what that guy can do. Can we just end him now, please?
So at its core, the Deimos Whirlwind consisted of a Whirlwind missile launcher mounted directly upon the reinforced Deimos Rhino frame. Although numerous battlefield variants and specialized configurations emerged throughout the long campaigns of the era, these modifications altered launcher systems, ammunition capacities, and battlefield function to suit the demands of different legions and war zones. So that's sort of where we're talking. It's still evolving. You know, they're fighting a different front. they need something else, so they're going to change it up. It's what, frankly, any squaddy does. We always change kit. We always adapt stuff. It's why you learn to sew, because you want to change things about, just to make sure it works for you guys. Whatever theatre you're in, you do change your kit to suit it. It's no different to weapon systems, especially one minute you're fighting, I don't know, a few cultists. Your bog standard stuff will be great, but as you then go and start fighting, I don't know, Emperor's Children, you want a very different bit of kit.
Yeah.
So whether any Deimos pattern whirlwinds still endure within the armories of the Adeptus Astartes or the traitor legions in the 41st millennium remains unknown. Those surviving examples would be regarded as ancient and highly prized relics of the Imperium's darkest age. I can imagine some iron hands just like worshipping one of these.
Yeah, because one of them actually cool is the tank for sure. Yeah,
100%. Like just a little head on top. But also that's pretty cool for like tabletop as well, right? It means you can rock an old cool looking whirlwind and just be like, yes, chapter relic.
Yeah.
What do you like about the Demio specifically?
Just the look. It's just something. It just looks nice. It looks 30K to me.
Yeah, so that big beefy rocket pod.
Edges, eh? Like the little bit of roundness is just so at odds with a lot of Astartes brick vehicles, you know.
Yeah.
It's also like that mass rocket pod as well, right? With the last two variants we've seen, we've got those smaller rocket pods where you can see like the tips of the missiles coming out, and you've got like one or two missiles, and now you've got like this massive bulk missile launcher sitting on top, which it's never going to be enough to kill enough Xenos, because you know.
I think my favorite thing about it is the fact it changes. Sure. You have that same.
That one with it looks like a Union Jack on the screen. On the door panel. Yeah, there she goes.
Cross of some but yeah, just the fact that it is a constantly changing vehicle. That's what I love about it. You can make your own in effect and just say, well, this was done by this legion in this theater.
And it makes me wonder about going forward, like with Primaris. So far, we don't have an artillery piece, so I wonder if we'll get a Primaris Grav artillery whirlwind.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of what like my point I was making earlier is that the way that the like Grav tanks are going, where they've got side pintle mounted guns with like you can have plasmas on the side, then you can have your main like las turret. It almost feels like they're just gonna be like give you the option to like pop a rocket pod on the back.
But then I suppose what we're seeing is with the Impulsor is basically what was done with the Rhino and the Predator. You've got a Gladiator now. So
I'm surprised they don't just sell the base kit and then you have to buy upgrade kits for your tank.
You're sounding awfully pessimistic about GW's business model.
Well, you know.
You buy all the tank, every tank.
I mean, to be fair, you're only about a few hours away from GWHQ, so
that's why I need to watch what I say.
Yeah, you have a knock on the door in the middle of the night.
The primary
GW goons.
Kind of artillery pieces, like it has that rocket pod on the back.
Yeah.
They also got the Atreus, Primaris Atreus, which is like their big.
That's what I mean. Like, we're definitely gonna get like more of those rocket pods on the back, and it's just gonna like tick that box.
Yeah, that would be wild. You take an Atreus and you turn that into a whirlwind where it literally just has a billion fucking rockets of all types on the back. Just a big,
just 8 Death Strike missiles on it.
Can I start?
You take like a Titan rocket launcher from the top. Yeah.
Or everyone's dice, just so you can roll enough dice for all the rocket strikes that you're firing. Sorry, can I borrow these? I've just got a rocket strike to roll.
I'll give them back when I'm done. Yeah, you toss some of these bad boys on.
Oh yeah, the one off the lever.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we'll move into the equipment that they have. You know, we always make fun about the equipment. They do have their smoke light or their smoke launchers and their searchlight. And I was talking to Chatbot about it, and they're saying you can have searchlights in infrared, and you could have it in like UV, and you could do a couple different searchlights. So it's not just the standard like. So you're putting a nice white LED light on somebody, like great. Like there's a couple more features to these searchlights that they could have. I thought that was kind of cool. That does change things too. Or they were also talking you could have those lights like do like strobing and create like not hallucinogen, but like disorienting effects, you know. So, you know, that's fun. You can even use your light as a little weapon.
Yeah. And again, you see that real world. If you see videos of especially special forces do it nowadays. When they're doing close quarter combat stuff, they will put a torch on strobe just because it is really disorienting being on the other end of it.
Like, you know, in like modern assault rifles have always got like the torch attachment. They'll always stick that on strobe. So like wherever they're pointing their gun, the guy's getting like strobed out.
Okay. Yeah, when you guys say torch, you mean like flashlight, not like literal flame torch. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it might just psych the enemy out just enough.
Half and half, you know, you run at somebody with a literal flaming torch.
If you've got a flaming torch, that's probably
it's disorienting.
It reminds me of the British officer from World War II who went ashore on D-Day, Operation Overlord, went ashore on Normandy, armed with a broadsword and a longbow. And the Germans didn't shoot him because they thought he was genuinely mad.
They thought he was genuinely mad. I can't remember his name, but he was like part of the aristocracy.
Mad Jack Churchill.
That's it. Jack Churchill. He also had his personal piper blowing the bagpipes next to him as he walked ashore.
Okay, there needs to be an Imperial Guard regiment on that man.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
I'm planning that. I'm planning it.
A couple other things equipment-wise it can have is dozer blades, just for clearing debris and stuff. You could get a little storm bolter on there if you wanted to. But yeah, it's just kind of all your standard equipment. There's like camo netting you could toss over top if you're trying to like, that would probably be pretty good with your artillery pieces to toss camo netting on. There's a couple other fun ones that Chatbot suggested is like these tank upgrades to keep it a little more.
Cool.
Yeah, even smoke launchers. What other kind of cool uses do smoke launchers have in real life tank stuff?
You can have like tear gas, I guess, as well. It's like if you're up close and personal, just
Okay.
I mean, real world, it's as simple as it sounds. All you're doing, you're popping smoke, you're getting out.
Just making a wall of cover.
It's just you can't shoot me if you can't see me.
Tank on tank engagements, right? It's like you pop that smoke out so the other tank can't shoot you. As you're like, I'm just going to reverse around this corner, and
generally as fast as possible.
But
and those you're not like, I shot my smoke, now I'm going to reload them with my frag launcher ones. Like, they're not like a weapon like that. They're not made for that at all. Okay. No, so smoke launchers are pretty standard. That's fine.
Very defensive orientated weaponry here,
Yeah.
Which, if you're in an artillery tank and you pop in smoke, something's gone
something's gone horribly wrong. If you're like worrying about someone, I suppose maybe like air cover. Maybe like you want to kind of give you that kind of cover from air, but again, if you're in a whirlwind, you just crank those rockets up, right?
Right. So we do have a technical spec plate for the Whirlwind. This is for the Helios specifically. I'm pretty sure they have them for a bunch of ones. Like they do have it for the Demios one and a couple other ones. So, but for the Helios one, interesting points are 33 tons. 68 kilometers on the road. It's still pretty slow, but faster than most of the tanks that we've mentioned. What else is interesting? 60 millimeter hull.
So to put that into perspective, that's not thickness wise, that's not a great deal. When we're talking about the power of the weaponry of the 31st and 41st millennia.
When you're talking about stun cannons.
When you're talking about things that just delete beings.
Like handheld nuclear missile launchers.
just small weaponry like that. A Tiger One from World War II, arguably the most famous tank in the world, had 100 mil of armor on the front.
Okay.
And that was notorious for being tough. Nowadays, you're talking about physical equivalents of over 1,000 mil. You're talking about the physical equivalent of a meter thick.
Wow.
That's all done by composites, angling, reactive defensive systems. So, and that's
like I'm sure the composition of that 60 mil is going to be something crazy, right? 41st millennium, like adamantium and things like that. It's going to be crazy materials.
Yeah,
which are probably going to be tougher than
You're
your
telling me there's like a meter
modern
thickness of deflection on some modern tanks. That's wild.
It's crazy to think about. Let's be honest.
I mean, to be fair, we're firing depleted uranium darts at them. So, and that's now just, and that's the sort of effective thicknesses we need. So when we're talking about things such as, plasma, for example, 60 mil might not sound a lot, but what is that 60 mil made up of? That's the important thing.
Romaldus is asking about chaff. The smoke launchers fire chaff. Yeah,
you've got chaff, you've got all sorts. I mean, the Challenger 2, my old baby girl, they pump beautiful, but they pump diesel onto the engine housing to create another set of smoke. So we've got all sorts of different ways to create it. But yeah, that thermal optics nowadays is a big thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so you'll have, as you say, metal shavings.
Yeah. And then I guess you could take that concept kind of further. I like that, Grim. That's a cool thought of like, okay, so that messes with thermal. How do you mess with UV? How do you mess with all these different ways of seeing? Like maybe you're fighting some type of creature that uses sonic kind of to see
like
or to even attack. Yeah, then maybe you create like a super dense fog that you launch and it like just like dampens the sound.
On the minor Xenos, wasn't there one that had like 3 eyes and they each eye saw in a different spectrum, and so you've got to kind of counter for all 3 things. You can blind them in one eye, and you've kind of then smoke one eye out and chaff another eye, and fire different things out to just be like completely blind the creature.
I suppose it comes back to what we were saying about the thickness of the armor. It's going to be made of Lord knows what. Who knows what the smoke screen is being generated from? It's going to be something horrendous and almost certainly wouldn't be approved by health and safety. But
to be fair, you could probably pump out some like horribly noxious gases as well, right? Like some like death weapons that the Death Guard would have loved to have.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We also have so there's a couple different patterns of Whirlwind. And they kind of just have different weapons on top of it that have different uses.
Yeah, so we've got the different patterns are configured for different specializations on different battlefield roles, ranging from saturation bombardments and siege suppression to precision strikes against entrenched infantry and heavily defended positions. So the first one of these we have is the Helios, the most common configuration. It's a hardened missile carrier equipped with 6-cell launcher assembly. Though devastating in battle, the launcher must be manually loaded, forcing the Whirlwind to withdraw after exhausting its ammunition reserves. Even so, the Rhino chassis allows for substantial internal munition storage, and many chapters employ servitors to maintain the ammunition feeds and accelerate reloading operations during combat. The Whirlwind commonly deploys Vengeance high-velocity warheads for saturation bombardment with Castellan incendiary missiles to engulf enemy positions beneath torrents of burning promethium. Imperial archives also speak of rarer payloads including melter, plasma, chemical, haywire, and even vortex pattern warheads, reserved for the most extreme battlefields. When mass fire support is required, Whirlwinds often operate in dedicated suppression forces alongside modified land speeders acting as forward artillery spotters. That's pretty cool. But you've got like land speeders kind of calling it in.
I love the fact it's the idea of, the mass batteries aren't working. Let's put more dangerous stuff in the mass batteries. And that'll be fine.
Is like melter dangerous?
Warheads of like promethium and crazy explosives aren't killing enough Xenos. Let's just load some more crazy stuff on there. Let's see what happens. It's fun.
Yeah, like the vortex. Just imagine like a barrage of vortex missiles where it's like the horizon just becomes literal black dots of things just getting sucked into the vortex.
Yeah, it's just
and there's,
crazy.
10 of them.
How far are we talking about? Are we firing over the horizon? Because if you're firing over the horizon, creating a black hole over there, it's probably not going to be a problem until you've got enough time to leave, right? But if you're just like firing within like a couple kilometers, you're going to have to fire and get out of dodge pretty quick before like a little black hole on the horizon becomes a real big problem real quick.
It's a little warp hole that they create, though, not like a black hole, though.
That's still not great, right? You still don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah, okay, so now demons are coming out of it and you're not getting pulled in.
Cool. So we've killed the Xenos, but now we have demons.
And that's why you've got the melter and plasma options.
Swap the rocket, get the servitor out, swap the rockets.
But I mean, even like for me, like they're talking about some real supporting munitions here, which is great because it really plays into their role within the Astartes, like the chemical like and the haywire.
Chemical,
So that's area denial. That's if you do go there, we're buying ourselves time to react.
It also super leans into that idea of like they specialize to the battlefield they're working on, right? So if you're working on a super techie based enemy, using those haywire rockets is really going to be really massively effective.
And like
chemical warfare is not going to be useful against like an enemy that uses rebreathers, right? If you're coming up against Death Guard, you're not going to be using chemical warfare, right?
Yeah. And like you sacrifice hundreds of lowly serfs to make these weapons, and they're laboring, they're doing their prayers and their chants. So you don't just waste that thing. Like it's a holy object.
It's a holy relic, right?
This mighty missile. Yeah.
Wicked. Right. So the Hyperios. The Whirlwind Hyperios is a specialized anti-aircraft variant of the standard Whirlwind, engineered to shield advancing Space Marine armored formations from hostile aircraft and fast-moving attack craft. I love that they've got a dedicated one for just the armored formations. It's great that, this one's going to have to move about a bit because it's going to have to keep up. Replacing the conventional artillery launcher is a reinforced Hyperios missile system paired with automated tracking augers and hardened targeting arrays capable of locking onto enemy flyers and jet bikes with relentless precision. Because an artillery barrage isn't relentless enough. You also need their targeting to be relentless.
Yeah.
Though lacking the extreme engagement range of larger and Imperial anti-air batteries, the Hyperios excels at destroying low-flying aircraft during attack runs, saturating the sky with guided missile fire. In dire circumstances, the launchers can also be turned against ground targets, its missiles functioning as heavy anti-armor warheads when no other option remains. It's just this idea of like we need to cover
dedicated AA, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. But again, like so far, every tank we've spoken about can do both.
Yeah. It's
so if you can add a little lock on top of your missile pod, why don't you? Just throw it on.
But I love the fact that within this it is so specialized that we know it's not great at long range, but you know what the real threat is to armored formations? Low flying aircraft and stuff that can move slightly faster. So let's make something that can target them. During the Moray schism, the Whirlwind Hyperios became the subject of deep mistrust after tech priests upon Forge World Moray corrupted many of the vehicle systems with hidden ciphers capable of disabling the tanks upon receiving specific command codes. Even long after the schism ended, some Space Marine traptors continued to distrust the Hyperios pattern, refusing to deploy the vehicles in battle for fear that the machine spirits within could betray them in the midst of war.
So is that
an odd little piece of lore?
That's a really weird bit of lore, but it's also like a perfect bit of lore that if you want to like stop making the model.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, what was the reason for them including that? Like, it just seems so like intentional, but random.
I guess like if they want to like stop making the model, but So it's not mainstream, but if someone's got one, fair enough. You can write into your lore that like your guys have got one, they trust it. But in general, they're not widespread.
Yeah, or maybe like the Whirlwind, since it's been out since like 3rd edition or whatever, and then planes came out in 6th edition. They tried to like reason out why a lot of chapters didn't have it or something. But
yeah,
I have no idea. But yeah, that's a fun little thing. That's funny to think that one tech tree says like, corrupted the code of this entire fucking STC line.
I mean, it sort of speaks
written it out.
Yeah, it sort of speaks to the weakness of things like STCs. If you're making something on a standard pattern, all it takes is that one guy to whisper in the wrong ear of the machine spirit, and suddenly you've taken a weapon system off of your table. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Wrote down righty loosey, lefty tighty, and the whole tank's now fucked. Goddamn. Yeah, very cool. Cool tank. I like that one. You can definitely. I like how it's very clear the rocket pods and even the frame. Like this. Yeah, many rockets shooting in the sky. The last one that we have is the Scorpius, and this goes kind of back to the Demios pattern. An ancient predecessor to the more common Whirlwind patterns, the Scorpius was constructed upon a reinforced Demios pattern Rhino chassis during the earliest years of the Great Crusade. The vehicle was first engineered at the request of the Space Wolves to support brutal siege campaigns against heavily fortified cities of the Gashalunian Xenos Empire. Though now regarded as a relic of a forgotten age, the Scorpius remains a feared engine of destruction whenever awakened for war. Much of the knowledge required to manufacture its specialized munitions has been lost to time, leaving surviving vehicles as rare, closely guarded assets within the arsenals of the Adeptus Astartes.
That's crazy, right? If the Space Wolves are going, nah, we need something that's going to crack this from distance, something's gone wrong.
Yeah. They tried sending one too many wolves to charge the wall. I'm like, okay, we can't do that anymore. We've lost. We got to do something.
They keep killing us before we can swing our axe. So we need something that can shoot distance, please. Please and thank you.
Well, they're in luck. In place of the standard Whirlwind missile battery, the Scorpius mounts heavy drum-fed launcher assembly capable of unleashing devastating volleys of specialized warheads. Upon impact, these munitions generate violent implosive detonations, crushing infantry formations and tearing apart light armored vehicles beneath waves of concussive force.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, what's nice about this one, it sounds like, you could toss in a couple different missiles into this rack. They have a couple designed to fit in here, where the other ones are like, okay, this is clearly a 4-slot missile tube, this is a 6-slot, and so on and so forth.
Again, it feels like another evolution where they've gone from fixed number of tubes to now we have a drum fitted, rotating drum filled with missiles. But you also think that maybe those missiles are smaller if they're in a rotating drum rather than your big warheads.
They're not at each missile. You can do more, but each one doesn't do as much.
Yeah. But we've got different formations now that these artillery units move upon. So when an Astartes ground force is in need of an orbital fire support, but none is available, they may make use of a formation known as the Whirlwind Suppression Force. All available Whirlwind artillery tanks are pulled together and placed under the command of a single field officer mounted in an Auspex-equipped land speeder. Using this tactic, a Space Marine commander is capable of quickly assembling a large concentration of long-range suppressive fire. This is most often done in flat, desert-like environments where the land speeder can quickly maneuver itself far ahead of the whirlwinds, calling in targets to be destroyed by the collective fire of whirlwinds. If any foe survives, the land speeder calls in a new coordinates, and the whirlwinds open fire again, and this tactic is repeated until all the enemy are annihilated.
Fuck yeah.
Just imagine being that one dude, that one guy that survived.
Yeah, hands up, and they're like, nah.
No.
Fire again.
Fire again.
But it goes back to that idea of artillery being massed fire. Let's just saturate the area. So how are we going to saturate that area best? We're going to put them all together.
Might be heresy.
One area.
might be heresy, but how many whirlwinds is too many whirlwinds?
No such thing.
No such thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how many whirlwinds have we got on planet? 12. Bring them all. Bring them all. It's fine. All of them.
I mean, if you really want to be fancy, you put a different missile load in each one. So you have some firing HE, some firing vortex.
And they like do like a cycle where it's like the first one fires a gas, and then the next one's an incendiary to burn the gas, and the next one's a bigger blast.
To sound awfully Emperor's Children, and like a nice pattern in the sky, and artistry of artillery. It's the perfect artillery barrage.
The beautiful music it creates, the thumbing and the
thunderous roar of the artillery.
Now here's one for you that might throw the cat amongst the pigeons. What if each different ammo type has a different colored smoke out of the rear of the projectile?
Oh yeah,
you could have an entire formation firing rainbows.
Fireworks, nice.
Well, I think depending on the chapter, Emperor's Children.
And certain chapters are probably into that kind of thing. Yeah,
but the Ultramarines they're only firing blue smoke for sure.
Blue smoke, standard. Fragmentation rockets, nothing fancy. Like the Codex does not support these additional rockets.
I love how like you could cinematically create this picture of a land speeder like flying through, zipping around all the orbital bombardments, even though that's probably not how it works. He's like kind of off on the horizon targeting and not zipping through the actual active bombardment.
I guess it's kind of like your Spec Ops guys with like a laser designator, right? Like sitting somewhere like high up, looking down, laser designating, and then all of a sudden,
Although that being said, I could see that being a Golden Demon entry.
Ooh,
the land speeder scooting off as you've got some, heretic Astartes being blown to pieces by Prometheus. That would look fantastic. I need to get better at painting now, and I might do that just for
life goals, new life goals
for the show. So the Stalker pattern, the Stalker, formerly designated the Whirlwind Stalker, is a heavily specialized anti-aircraft battle tank derived from the Hunter and the broader Whirlwind armored platform. Engineered for relentless area denial, the Stalker transforms the dependable Rhino-based chassis into a mobile anti-air battery capable of advancing along Space Marine armored spearheads whilst maintaining sustained tracking and suppression fire against hostile aircraft. So this one is obviously more about keeping them at bay, just warding them off, rather than actually taking them out when they're coming in to strafe. The vehicle's frontal and flank armor plating is significantly reinforced compared to most Rhino chassis variants, allowing the tank to withstand heavier punishment whilst holding exposed firing positions against aerial assaults. Hydraulic stabilizers mounted along the hull lock the vehicle firmly into the ground during firing operations, absorbing recoil and ensuring maximum targeting precision during sustained bombardments. It locks itself into place when it's firing. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I feel like they should all do that, right? It makes more sense for like an artillery piece to be like secured in position. But this is cool. Like, this is like a mobile flat cannon, right?
Definitely at it.
Pretty much. That's pretty awesome.
Or we need to come up with the Whirlwind Mark IV-A that has the little pistons on the side. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just this idea of it's going to be with the tanks. So let's up armor it. Let's make it a bit more survivable, so it can take a bit of a beating because it's going to have to sit in place.
Yeah.
You know,
it feels like the rocket artillery so far it probably would benefit more from locking in place than the mobile flat cannon.
Yeah. Than the mobile flat cannon. Yeah. Hey.
Like it feels like they've put that on the wrong models, but hey, who am I? Who am I to judge the?
I suppose really when you're doing your anti-aircraft, you're tracking a lot more. So as you're firing, you don't want that platform moving. If you're firing over horizon, you're saturating the area.
You're saturating, Like, who cares if you move a little bit? There's going to be a rocket there anyway.
It's the idea. It's a suppression weapon, so it's meant to spread out over a fair area. So actually, if it wiggles about and shifts, that's fine. It's doing a better job.
Yeah, it's true. It's like the idea of like machine guns. They like They used to fire 2 straight.
Yeah.
So they put like a mechanism in so that machine gun bullets spread out a little bit more, so that you could cover like a wider area and deny more area to the enemy.
Do the Stalker cannons, do they look like they're like Gatling cannons where the tri-barrel spins? Or
it looks like it. I'd say it probably I'd say more than likely it's going to be like some form of like Gatling cannon.
I'm now imagining A10 Warthog noises coming off of this thing.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like if you're spinning out mass bullets, the gun has to spin.
Yeah.
They've also got
It's
to
the
be
rules.
100% got to be like bolter rounds, right? They've got to be bolter shells that are like exploding, like rather than mass reactive, they're just like mini flak shells just blowing up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's modeled with like 4 rounds in the auto loaders.
Oh yeah. It's got a capacity of like 500 rounds per gun, but you can see 5.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh man, cool. So the history of the Stalker developed from the rediscovered Hunter standard template construct. Recovered by the Adeptus Mechanicus only a few millennia ago, the Stalker mounts paired Icarus storm cannons with an independent tracking turret assembly. These weapon systems are linked to Hargan targeting Augurs and automated firing systems capable of engaging multiple airborne threats simultaneously, saturating the skies with streams of armor-piercing munitions designed to tear apart aircrafts, gunships, and attack craft during high-speed attack runs. Though a relatively recent addition to the arsenals of the Adeptus Astartes, the Stalker has rapidly become an essential component of the chapter's armored formation. Yeah, very cool. It's interesting. Just, I've been in the hobby for so long. Like, these tanks came out in 6th edition. They came out with a bunch of aircraft and anti-aircraft in this edition. So you kind of get like how they tried to fit it in retroactively into all these armies, because they came across the entire range. Everyone got this update. So this one
pretty awesome, man.
Recently discovered.
It makes sense. Again, it's another like lore piece to like why it's all of a sudden they've now got AA.
Yeah.
But the Stalker is a dedicated anti-aircraft variant of standard Astartes Whirlwind artillery platform, engineered specifically for the destruction of hostile aircraft and airborne assault formations. In place of the Whirlwind's missile battery, the vehicle mounts a massive Icarus storm cannon array, a brutal twin-linked weapon system built around the multi-barreled ballistic cannons capable of unleashing sustained streams of armor-piercing fire into the skies above the battlefield. Each storm cannon is linked with its own hardened servo mines, allowing the weapon system to operate independently and engage multiple targets simultaneously. The cannon can divide their fire across separate enemy aircraft or converge both batteries upon a single target together to deliver an overwhelming destructive force against heavily armored flyers and monstrous aerial threats. That's wild. Like, I'm just trying to think of like what you're going to see as like a close air support aircraft that's going to require both barrels.
Yeah, like, are they shooting lasers at us or bullets? Like, it's just like so many bullets, it looks like a straight line. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it says ballistic, so I'd imagine it is. It's not lasers.
Yeah. So I think it sounds like they're armor piercing. So I can almost imagine like it's an armor piercing, almost like bolter shell.
Yeah.
That's being fired out. That like pierces through the armor, and again, it's kind of like the mass reactive, but rather than blowing up inside your body, it like might detonate inside whatever aircraft it's firing at. Again, like flak, is it just like at a certain altitude just pops?
Cool.
I suppose it also touches there monstrous aerial threats. We're all guilty of talking about obviously enemy aircraft and tanks and infantry. You've got flying bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
I would very much be happy to have one of these next to me if one of those.
Plus, if you're popping out like the amount of rounds this is going to be popping out, like if you've got like a swarm of like gargoyles that like you genuinely can't see the sun, and you're just like mowing through them with like these auto cannons, and as well like where they're like multi like different servo minds, like controlling each cannon. Like the cannon's just switching and just like popping between targets, and just like streams of bullets just taking individual like it, again, very cinematic.
Yeah, man. It just buries
Like,
itself in its own like pile of shells.
Yeah. Just like sitting, like you can see it just like sitting on like two of them on like a cliff edge with like a swarm coming in them, and they're just popping shells off, and just enemies are dropping down. It's coming dark as like the sun's blotted out by the swarm of creatures. As like these rounds are just going, like streams of bullets are just going everywhere.
100% hit rate, no skill needed.
Oh yeah.
Every firing sequence fills the air with dense storms of high caliber ammunition, saturating entire attack corridors with lethal firepower capable of tearing apart enemy gunships, attack craft, and even the largest winged tyrannid bioforms before they can even reach Space Marine lines. There we go. That's just what we were talking about there.
Yeah.
Literally anything from millimeter thick, like adamantium, like wraithbone, or tyrannids, like it's going to shoot enough bullets that it's going to punch through anything.
So with a stalker in the area, if it flies, it dies.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it almost seems like it unlike the other whirlwinds where you've got like a specialized rocket per hostile, this is just going to be it doesn't matter how thick or what we're facing, we're just shoot more bullets.
Stalker goes bird.
Yeah, more bullets. Like, oh, a 10-second burst wasn't enough. Try 30.
Yeah,
and if
that's how many
guns.
Yeah, and how many manufactorum workers were sacrificed to make all those bullets for 1 second?
Yeah,
worth it. Worth it.
I'd be interested to know like the rate of fire of these things.
I'll see if I can find such a thing.
I was going to say it's 3 barrels, so I wouldn't imagine it would be more like a thud than a burr. In my head, at least, it's sort of dum 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 dum.
Well, you're like an old school, like an old school flat cannon, where you've got like the dual wheel, where it's like pop, 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 pop. Yeah,
that's in my head because it's got to rotate, it's got to reload. It
depends how fast it rotates, right?
This is it. So
it does spin. I just read it does spin. So
I'm thinking the old school Gatling cannon done by hand, that sort of rate of fire. It might be that the servo mind can actually control the rate of fire.
Yeah, again, it depends entirely on what you're facing, right? If you want to do like a 3-round burst, you could pop, 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 or something a bit thicker. You could just like do a full brr.
Yeah. So, speaking of firing modes, the Stalker can unleash its Icarus storm cannons through 2 separate firing protocols, depending upon battlefield condition and target density. So, it's got a single target mode. Both storm cannons can lock onto the same target, combining their fire into a unified barrage of overlapping ballistic streams. Operating in tandem, the paired cannons deliver an immense concentration of armor-piercing firepower, capable of tearing apart even the heaviest enemy aircraft and heavily armored aerial war machines. So we're going back to, again, it's almost that same saturation. Let's just throw at it. And I'd imagine in this sort of circumstance, if you can control that rate of fire, you're redlining it. You're throwing as much as you physically can.
You've got. It's like that oh shit moment where something's come over the horizon. You're like, that needs to die, and that needs to die quick.
Yeah.
Both barrels.
Yeah, quantity has a quality of its own.
Yeah.
And then you've got
hang on, double nerding. Lord of the Rings. Helm's Deep, you've got the berserker running in, he's going to blow up the wall. It's that moment where you're like, both barrels, just let it. It needs to die. Kill it.
I mean, hang on. If we're going to go down double nerding, if you take out a swarm of gargoyles with this thing, does it still only count as 1?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good cube.
Yeah.
It depends whether they're synapse to how many synapses there are. If it's the 1 synapse, I'd say it still only counts as 1.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
that's
canon. That's canon.
It's official canon. And then you've got the dual target mode. The storm cannons operate independently through separate servo guidance systems, allowing the Stalker to engage multiple airborne threats at the same time. While this divides the total destructive output between targets, it enables the vehicle to blanket the skies with sustained suppressive fire and intercept several enemy crafts simultaneously. That's really cool, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You've got a squadron coming in, perhaps it's lighter, perhaps it's a bunch of heretic Valkyries. You can take them on one at a time. So let's go bang, bang, bang. Let's take 2 or 3 out.
I'm just picturing like a cross-eyed dude though firing this, where it's like
100%. So you think about it from like
all wiggly.
you think about it from like the pilot's perspective, like you're gonna get that stream of bullets coming, you're immediately gonna like peel off in different directions to like split the stream, and then all of a sudden the streams just start chasing you in different directions. You're like, there's no escape.
Hey,
hang on, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
You can't do that. It's not fair.
Cool. Now we get to the targeting array, which is just wild. The true strength of the Stalker lies not solely within the weapon systems, but within the brutal efficiency of its tracking arrays. Engineered to hunt down fast-moving aerial targets with relentless precision. At the core of these systems are heavily modified servitor brains and neural interfaces fused directly into the vehicle's auger networks and targeting machinery. These servitors are selected from individuals whose minds once possessed exceptional reflexes and battlefield awareness, before being repurposed through irreversible augmentation and mechanized reconstruction. Tank, you are a tank now. Welcome to Tank.
Yeah, you're a tank. We've replaced your skull with adamantium. You are now a tank.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
It was just think like it always makes me think of like Toy Story, when you've got like the toys that like it's like a Barbie's head on like a skeleton and things like that. It just thinks it's like a tank that's just got like a doll's head stuck on top.
Many are drawn from failed chapter initiates too damaged to continue their ascension into the Adeptus Astartes. Warriors crippled during training or ejected during implantation process, yet still deemed worthy of service. Others are chosen from chapter serfs who demonstrate rare discipline and loyalty, earning the right to serve alongside the armored war engines of the chapter. In either case, as much of the initiate's head and spine and torso as possible are preserved and integrated into the machine systems, so that their remains may continue to wage war. Well, that's why these vehicles don't have a transport space. You're lugging around fucking bodies already.
Yeah, sorry, we can't take an extra 3 rounds. Dave's wired into the back of the tank.
Wired in.
Do you think when the crew get assigned different tanks, they're hoping for the one that only has the head?
Yeah. Wow,
Dave insisted he has his arm and he's always touching things, but
yeah, like Dave's twitchy arms at it again.
Jeez. Where possible, the servitor's remaining limbs are wired into manual controls. Okay, good. So it's not just flailing around. Good. and weapon systems but their primary role is to merge their cognition directly with the Stalker's machine spirit and targeting arrays. The process is dangerous and often fatal, with many servitors destroyed before the stable bond is achieved. Those that survive become part of a cold mechanical symbiosis fused eternally to the tank as living components of its anti-aircraft systems. Yeah, that is fucking grimdark, peak grimdark metal right there.
Yeah.
And it's not enough that they just take your brain and like put that in a little spot inside like the engine core or something. You're like, no, you're like sitting on the back bench, like half wired in, missing half your body, like
Yeah. Like, you've got to maintain some organic systems to keep that brain alive, right? You just don't just put it in a jar. You've got to keep life support systems running.
I've just got the Futurama heads in a jar image now.
Yeah.
But just him just sat in the driver's seat of a Rhino. But what's slightly concerning when I read it is, and hear all of this, it says the limbs are wired into manually, the manual controls. It doesn't say where the brain and the torso is.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like he's stretched. In effect, this poor servitor has been stretched out across the vehicle.
Or is he just like in a seat? Is he just like in a seat and his arms are like wired into like the weapon control systems? And he's just like programming and he's like directing as if you would like hold a joystick, but his arms are the joystick.
Yeah, his nerves are the wires. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
Don't like that.
but like it also begs the question, right? So when you've got like knights and titans and things, you have your like neural link, but you don't have to be a servitor to do that. Like the Titan's machine spirit does like half the work, and you're just kind of working in symbiosis with the machine spirit. Like you'd think that like an Astartes wired into maybe the tank, or like a Tech Marine wired into the tank would be able to kind of have that same symbiosis without having to have a dedicated servitor that's like lobotomized specifically to be a targeting system.
Yeah. Why not both, though? I think is the technique.
Why not both? Yeah.
Why not
Why
both?
not
They
both?
have that, and then they have the Astartes shooting the gun that targets with a human. It's perfect. Like,
Okay,
here's a-
Excellent.
That's it. Does the Astartes gunner just grab hold of the limbs?
Hey, don't screech that. That's not a trigger.
I mean, I will say. Sorry. I just
Again, like,
thought
what do you need to start is driving and firing and doing any of this if you've already got a servitor doing it?
Yeah, but just
Is your starts just pointing, going that one,
that
one.
Yeah, I guess
that one?
direct setting like how many firing modes. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good time.
I mean,
though.
it's a bit of a rubbish consolation prize for an initiate that doesn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, the guy you joined with is now controlling you.
You think about it, like it's different depending on like different chapters. So, you're a failed initiate in like the Dark Angels, you now polish a guy's sword. But like you're a failed initiate in like the Iron Hands, and you're now a part of a tank.
Oh man, yeah, I like that. That's nice. That's
a
why
bit of
it
chapter
always
lore.
matters what gang you choose. You know.
It's a chapter lore for everyone else who's doing like a chapter. What happens to your failed initiates? Roll a dice, see what happens.
Eaten.
Eaten. Yep. That's for all you Blood Angels fans out there.
Carcharodons as well.
Carcharodons.
Yeah.
But for the equipment, the Stalker can be reinforced with additional battlefield systems, including the heavy dozer blades, layered armor plating, hunter-killer missile launchers, enhanced communication arrays, pintle-mounted storm bolters, integrated searchlights, and smoke launchers designed to increase the vehicle's survivability and combat effectiveness during prolonged armor engagements. So basically what we're saying is this thing can be up armored and up weaponed to have some of the same stuff as the other Whirlwinds. You can have rocket pods. You can have some armor, rocket pods. Just not as many.
I heard you like rocket pods.
Yeah, you can have some rocket pods. Oh, you feel left out that you don't have rockets on your Whirlwind? Well, we got a surprise for you. Rocket pods.
Introducing the Havoc missile launcher.
I love the fact they've already up armored the chassis, and then they're saying you can also add more armor.
Do you want an extra up armoring? Do you want triple armoring?
Yes. How many scoops of armor do you want?
It depends if it comes with sprinkles.
Yes, of course. Oh, man. This has a technical spec plate as well. It is not as detailed. Like, it doesn't show the speed, the hull thickness. It doesn't even show how many ammunition it has inside of it, which probably is a good thing because it would have been funny for them to do the math on that. They're like 10,000 shots, and we're like, well, no, it should be more. That's only 2 seconds worth of firing, GW.
Unlimited ammunition.
That's how we're gonna take that. Unknown or unlimited. Excellent. They couldn't count it all.
What I will note though is the elevation 0 to 55 degrees.
It's not a lot.
That's not very big.
That's not a lot. You'd think like it would have three like
up to not
like kind of 180.
90. Yeah, it's 360 degree traverse. Fantastic. 55 degrees. I suppose it's designed for taking them out at a reasonable range.
At distance, yeah. Also, I want to call into question.
It had to go taller, you know.
I want to call into question the crew. We've got a driver. We've got a gunner. We can't forget Dave.
Yeah. Hey, There's a
Hey.
Part of the tank,
7
part of the
brains in
crew.
that tank.
There's 3 bodies in there. Thank you.
From now on, I really hope to see people start writing on every Whirlwind the poor guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect, man. He's the coolest part of the tank.
Yeah. He comes with the tank. Comes with servitor. This
Hang on,
baby comes with a servitor.
No, I think it's very much the tank comes with Dave.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the real hero here.
Look, we've ordered a brand new targeting server, and he comes with a Whirlwind Stalker.
It's like how I explain like new kits turning up at the door. Well, I bought this one, which was within my monthly budget, and it just happened to come with
It
these
came with the other one.
6
No,
army
man, with
boxes.
the Strait of Hormuz being closed, shipping slow. I ordered this like 4 months ago. It's just getting here now.
Dave hasn't got legs. He needs to be wired into the tank. I need the tank if I'm going to deploy Dave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So formations, anti-air defense forces provide Astartes strike formations with heavily concentrated aerial protection through coordinated batteries of Hunter and Stalker anti-air tanks. These armored formations can deploy any number of Hunters, but must maintain at least 2 Stalker tanks to establish overlapping fields of suppressive anti-air fire against hostile aircraft and attack craft. That's not that many.
No, but I suppose if you're going to throw like basically unlimited streams of ammunition in 2 different directions per tank.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to the formations, like all the other ones are kind of lackluster. Like they're just kind of like, okay, so you got a couple tanks and they kind of hang out together and shoot. Oh, okay. But yeah, that land speeder artillery one, now that one was fucking tight.
That one was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We're going to switch tanks over to the Hunter next, and it's another anti-air tank specialized in anti-aircraft. It's a variant of the Adeptus Astartes Whirlwind artillery tank, replacing the conventional missile battery with the formidable Sky Spear missile launcher. Built for the destruction of hostile aircraft and armored flyers, the Hunter combines the rugged endurance of a Rhino chassis with the combined advanced tracking and missile guidance systems engineered for the long-range aerial interception. So you might wonder, like, how is that any different than the other one? They're both hunting at ships, where one does it rate of fire quantity is the quality all of its own, like you said. This one shoots one big fuck off missile that's going to lock onto you, and you're not going to escape it. Yeah, that's a nice picture.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the history of the Hunter, it was the first true dedicated anti-air platform deployed by the Adeptus Astartes. Before the rediscovery of the Hunter standard template construct, Space Marine chapters attempted numerous modifications to existing Whirlwind artillery vehicles in an effort to create an effective anti-air defenses. Though most of these improvised systems proved unreliable under battlefield conditions, though later anti-air variants such as the Hyperius achieved greater technical stability, many chapters have continued to rely upon the Hunter due to its proven durability, destructive missile systems, and long record of service across major war zones, including the brutal campaigns of the Third War for Armageddon.
Okay, cool.
It just goes to show if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
If it
100%.
works, just keep using.
Cool.
So the Sky Spear launcher, just the name of that just brings to mind anti-aircraft. I'm shooting down whatever I aim at. Fires sanctified savant warheads, ancient guided missiles regarded as relics within many Space Marine chapters. You're firing relics.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, you're definitely just going to be just fire one of these. Be like, all right, shoot the relic.
Warheads.
You just think of all of the serfs that have been polishing that thing over the centuries.
Layers of oil.
Yeah. That's the real danger, is the layers of holy oil that have been wiped over this thing, and it just combusts as soon as it's fired.
Yeah. Misfires in the tube.
Each missile contains the preserved remains of a distinguished chapter serf whose entombed brain is integrated directly into the missile's targeting system. So Dave's uncle is now a missile.
Dave too.
Yeah.
Does that mean
throwing his family members at people?
Just like his body, like if
missile.
Dave's body's far too mangled to be wired into the tank, it's fine. We'll just put him in a rocket instead.
Like he was accidentally crushed by a dreadnought waking up, but it's okay. His head survived.
Yeah.
So he can be a missile.
So, or Dave from the Stalker. The Stalker's blown up. Oh, but his brain's all right. Shove it in a missile. He can still serve the Emperor.
Yeah. I love that every missile that they fire is technically like friendly fire as well.
No wonder it's a relic, though. So each one of these has got like a serf's brain entombed. Like, no wonder it's like a relic that is like rarely fired. Like, like otherwise, you're going to be getting through an awful lot of serfs if you're just firing these fire at will.
What's wrong with that? You say that like it's a bad thing.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure there's the Imperium's a big place. It's fine.
Yeah. So the organic guidance cores augment the missile's machine spirit. That's really cool in and of itself, allowing the warhead to anticipate evasive maneuvers, track hostile flight patterns, and lock onto the corrupted emissions of enemy aircraft with relentless precision. So the missile is thinking. It's actively thinking,
it's like,
what is he going to do when he knows I'm coming?
It brings a new like dimension to like smart missile.
Yeah, like it's not just like guiding towards like, okay, I see that tree over there, I'm going to guide it towards. It's like, what is that? What is it going to do?
So here's a horrible thought for you. If the servitor brain that's been entombed in this thing is conscious of trying to predict a target's pathing, does that mean he's conscious enough to know he's been turned into a missile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's not just now doing like ones and zeros. He's now like cognitively thinking.
Yeah.
The first couple tests of this missile kept having it turn around and fire on itself.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
He just kept self-combusting, like, kill me now.
Yeah.
Are they just trying to kill another aircraft because it means the end for them? They don't have to keep thinking about the fact they've been turned into a missile. That's why they're so accurate.
Yeah. Motivation.
I've double nerding again. Lord of the Rings. I've just got the idea of some brain going death.
But in zeros and ones.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll try and work out what that is at some point and get it tattooed across my forehead. Ready for when I'm installed into a missile. Once launched, the Savant warheads pursue their targets with near unstoppable determination, making escape from the Hunter's missile system exceedingly rare. Meanwhile, the vehicle's heavy servo loaders maintain a steady firing cycle, allowing the Hunter to sustain repeated anti-air barrages throughout prolonged armored engagements. So it does sound like they're going through a few of these missiles.
Yeah. Every plane you see, you want to go through one.
I mean, I'm now beginning to question each chapter's health and safety officer. Like, how many serfs are dying in these accidents?
Oh man, yeah. The apothecary is fudging some numbers for sure.
Sorry about that, guys. I dropped off there for a second. A freight train went past, and it absolutely killed my connection. But I'm back. Hello.
Were they carting dead serfs? Chapter.
It did. There was some jangling of like potential jars of brains that may have been going to the manufactorum.
That's all right. That's okay.
It's fine as long as it's in the Emperor's name. That's what matters.
Yeah, they were willing to give their lives for the Emperor. They didn't say how.
Yeah. All right.
This one also does have the targeting array. So it does have Dave as well, as we mentioned on the inside, leading the missiles of his friends, family, and maybe even.
Do you need that though?
Yeah.
If it's already got a brain
you
in the missile,
want to do your friend right. You need it though.
But if it's got a brain in the missile that's like self-adjusting in the air, what's the point in targeting if it's just gonna self-adjust?
I suppose the targeting array could change the target. So if,
suppose.
Yeah, and like the
if
targeting
something
array,
else
like
swings
can-
into,
But then would you just get an argument between the two services being like, "No, that's your new target," but like, no, I'm chasing that one. I'm like, no, 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 that's your new target. Well, I've already adjusted for this one.
once the missile's gone, it's on its own. It's in the brain's hands now. Yeah, no, I like the dual brain. It's like one is like scanning for like actual targets and acquiring information. Like, is that a plane or is that a cloud? Like, one is doing that and then like kind of gathering all that information, actually kind of analyzing, and then one is doing the actual like guidance towards
Like target prioritization as well. Right? Like this one's further
yeah, exactly.
away, this one's faster, this one's like a bomber that's going to do us damage. Do that first.
Yeah, this one's actually fleeing the battlefield, so we don't need to target that. Like, yeah, exactly.
No, put that one first before it gets away. Right? Don't. That one's target number one. Don't let that get away.
Cool.
But for the equipment side of things, again, standard kind of stuff. Same as a lot of the other equipment we've seen on some of the other tanks. We can have like dozer blades, more armor on top of your armor, hunter killer missiles again. So you can have missile. This one does have missiles on your missiles. Improved communications equipment, pintle mounted storm bolters, and searchlights and smoke launchers. It feels like pintle mounted storm bolters should come as standard.
Yeah. Like
but again, it's like it just has like a picture of like an imperial car salesman being like, "You want to add your pintle mounted storm bolters to that one? It's going to cost you a few extra serfs on that, I'm afraid."
Yeah. Oh man, this tank is now up to 487 serfs have died. That's fine.
Luckily, that's enough to put their brains in the missiles. So that's the number of shots. The number of serfs you pay to get the tank is the number of shots that tank has.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, very cool. This one has its own though technical spec as well. Not too much important on this one. Like, it didn't give our speed or superstructure. Same
the
55
awesome
degree elevation.
The awesome cannon thing's awesome though. To be fair, like it looks really cool with like just massive gun,
like big rocket launcher.
Yeah,
you could tell exactly what it does. Like, there's some guns in 40K where you're like, is that a rad weapon? Is that a grav weapon? Like, what exactly does that fucking thing do? Where there's no subtlety. This is firing a big fucking rocket at you.
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. It's very much. I'm a big boy. I'm shooting big things at you. Do what you like.
It's very Imperium as well, right? Like either shooting a massive stream of bolter rounds or a big rocket. Because if you think about it, like a more conventional way of doing it or a more effective way of doing it, maybe like more tower way of doing it, where you're going to have like a big railgun on the front. But it just feels right for the Imperium to just shoot a massive rocket targeted by a brain.
Hang on. Are you trying to suggest that the Imperium aren't efficient?
They are efficient.
Put that man in a rocket.
Sorry, I've just earned my way into a warhead. But no, it just feels right. Like the Imperium, like they're the biggest resource is people, right, and brute force, and it just feels that this is the embodiment of brute force and an abundance of people. We're going to shoot a massive rocket targeted by a brain.
Targeted by a brain.
Yeah, when in doubt, throw more at it, whether it's more in volume, more in size, or more brains.
Yeah. Like the missile wasn't smart enough, stick a brain in it. It's fine.
Nice.
So I think a real favorite of the community.
I love a Vindicator, man.
The Vindicator. The Vindicator is a heavily armored siege tank employed by Space Marine chapters to breach fortifications, shatter strongpoints, and spearhead assaults through the most heavily defended battlefields. Built upon the rugged Rhino chassis, it retains the durability and reliability of its parent design, while replacing transport capacity with systems dedicated entirely to delivering devastating short-range firepower and sustained siege operations. One thing just to pick up on that from my perspective, the durability, great. You want to know that you're going to be able to survive in these vehicles. Reliability is massively undersold. If your vehicle can keep going, that's a good vehicle.
Yeah.
That's one of the arguments in like the best tanks of World War II, right? Is that the Germans made like super heavy, well armored, well armed tanks, but they were so technologically unreliable that they were constantly breaking down. You couldn't keep them in the field. Whereas a Sherman and a T-34, like Shermans were basically you had all the spare parts. The tank's engine ran on the same parts as like a truck and a Jeep, and you could just swap the parts out. You could be back in the battlefield in a couple hours, shooting new things. Whereas like when a German tank broke down, you were bumped.
Yeah,
back to the factory.
Yeah,
if that.
And I suppose to an extent, I mean, you could potentially see on a battlefield a tech marine taking parts off of a destroyed Whirlwind to patch up a Vindicator.
That's again, that's a good. It's the same mindset, right? Everything's based on like a Rhino.
Yeah.
Same as like in America, everything was based on like the same engine block. Is that one breaks, you just replace and repair and swap and keep everything moving. But this does look like super, like talking about all the tanks. It's like a Sturm Tiger, like that German tank with like the massive mortar on the front.
Never seen it. Let's look at it. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that thing actually,
goddamn, look at the shell of that thing.
Yeah, so it shoots like a massive, just like mortar shell. Like
it's a rocket.
Absolutely.
That's a massive rocket. It's a rocket, technically.
Whoa. Beefy.
Yeah. I think that tank is or technically speaking, SPG is thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
I think that's my description.
Yeah.
But you do see a lot of these assault guns. The Russians did quite a few, quite famously. SU-152, ISU-152, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Put a big gun on a chassis, drive it forward.
The IS.
Yeah, it works
like crazy.
Mm-hmm. The Demios, though, is the one pattern this time where it looks weaker than the normal kind of 40K version. And maybe if you just slap that storm shield on the Demios, it would come out on top.
Yeah, it just needs that like those are ramp, right?
Yeah,
and it looks, which feels like overkill. If you're already shooting like this massive gun through the wall, and then you just clear the rest out of the way.
I mean, to me, it feels like, can we have a blast shield? We've got blast shields at home. The blast shield at home.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so close, but not quite. Like, are you a blast shield or are you a dozer blade? It's like this weird hybrid of the two.
It's the one that you ordered from Temu.
Fucking Temu dozer blade.
Temu dozer blades.
Yeah. Fucking cool tank though.
The
history of the Vindicator. The origins are obscured by time, though surviving records suggest it was developed alongside other Rhino-based armored vehicles during humanity's distant technological zenith. Early accounts describe the creation of heavily armed, self-propelled siege vehicles designed to advance with frontline forces while delivering overwhelming firepower against fortified positions, defensive strongholds, and entrenched enemy formations. These foundations would establish the Vindicator as a purpose-built engine of breaching and destruction. Engineered to shatter obstacles that would halt lesser armored vehicles, early campaigns reportedly saw these machines deployed against orc invasions, where despite heavy losses, they proved their value through sheer destructive power and battlefield resilience. Just quick pause. Do these type of big shell tanks ever hunt other tanks, or are they kind of always like that fortification kind of kill target things?
It's going to be super inefficient to have something like this that fires like one big bullet at a tank, because if that tank then moves, deploys smoke, a tank is obviously a mobile target. Technically,
and like this doesn't even have any swivel really on its cannon.
No,
it's not like
you need to point and shoot. So something like this is definitely like anti fortification. But obviously, again, like we talk about like World War II, you had like your self-propelled guns that were like tank hunters, and they would have like anti-tank guns mounted similar to this way. Like you couldn't traverse it. You wouldn't. You had to point at the vehicle you're pointing at, but it's specifically designed gun to take like as an armor-piercing anti-armor gun. Whereas a gun like this is specifically designed for like punching a hole through a wall.
Yeah. See that bunker? I don't want to.
Yeah, I want a nice round hole in it.
Yeah, at a pinch you could absolutely. It's still a massive shell being fired. And even if you just the pure concussion's going to knock out the crew, and especially it's talking about orc invasions. Let's be honest, they're probably not held together the best. So if you fire a massive shell and it just falls apart, just these poor orcs just sat there in their position still.
Also, when it comes to orcs, right, there's probably a very fine and porous line between fortification and tank. Like it's just going to be a bunker with wheels, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or even an urban environment, something like this.
Yeah, just like like the enemies in that building. Rather than send guys in to clear it, we'll just bring the building down. It's fine.
No. Other accounts place the Vindicator's widespread battlefield debut during the opening years of the Horus Heresy, when massive siege cannons were mounted upon heavily modified Rhino chassis and sent against fortified trader positions amid shattered urban battlefields. Over time, these early siege weapons evolved, with cumbersome original artillery pieces eventually replaced by the more compact yet equally destructive or devastating demolisher cannon. Improvements to armor protection, targeting systems, and armor control further refines the design into a formidable siege tank known today. Since the Age of Heresy, the Vindicator has become an essential component of Space Marine armored warfare, particularly during siege operations and urban assaults. Most chapters maintain a reserve of these heavily armored breaching vehicles within their armories, preserving them as trusted engines of destruction capable of reducing fortifications and strongpoints to rubble beneath sustained bombardment.
But the size of that gun, it feels like you don't necessarily need sustained bombardment. It's been like a theme throughout all of these artillery tanks, right? It's all about sustained bombardment. But
I think you still got to double tap every building, though, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. All right. Like, there's still a wall standing. Fire again. Yeah.
But like it's been the argument with we're advised by guard. Just keep throwing at it.
Keep shooting. Like it does feel like that, right? Is like obviously the guard are the guys that are like firing tons of artillery because they've got to because they're soft and squishy. And then the artillery are like the Astartes are like, oh yeah, that seems like a good idea. Like, what do you guys do? And then they're like, what you got to do? You just keep shooting. Keep shooting. Just keep shooting.
You just keep shooting.
Keep shooting. Sure when the dust settles, if you can't see through it, shoot again.
Just keep shooting.
Just keep shooting. But the construction of the Vindicator, again, it's the same as a lot of what we've already seen. Oh, we may have lost Mark. But it's another thing. It's built upon a versatile Rhino chassis, which obviously means it shares many components, engines, and system with other armored vehicles. Simplifying maintenance, battlefield logistics. These siege tanks are forged within chapter manufactorums alongside rhinos, where ancient rituals, auguries, and machine rites are performed throughout construction to ensure the vehicle's machine spirit remains steadfast and obedient amidst the violence of war. It does feel like this isn't going to be in the violence of war, though.
Yeah. I mean,
this is going to be sat back.
Yes and no. I mean, if you're talking urban warfare, this thing's going to be in front.
It's going to be punching holes. Yeah,
big siege, I suppose, it's probably going to be the furthest forward of your guys if you're in a siege.
It depends, right? It depends how far that it's going to fire that slug.
I mean,
if it can fire over, if it's like more of a mortar and it's going to fire over and punch a hole, I mean, it's going to be at the back.
In-game tabletop, a demolisher cannon's only 24-inch range.
So it feels wild. I suppose, like again, like looking at the mini, it's more of a flat trajectory, right? It's not like a mortar firing up and over.
It looks on like the technical spec that doesn't have like an elevation, or at least it doesn't say it. So yeah, like it doesn't seem like it's like a lobber.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like based on what it does, it feels like it should have like a mortar capability of like lugging the shell both through a wall and over stuff if you wanted.
Yeah.
But it
then
very much seems like it's a through.
But then thinking about the heresy, you're putting a big siege gun onto a mobile platform just to smash. I don't know if we're probably overthinking it with hindsight. It's just, it's a tool. We need to get through. We need to get through this big bunker system. Right, let's strap this gun on.
It's the Astartes version of like a crowbar, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we need to get in there, send in the Vindicator.
Yeah, crack it open.
But again, like talking about that, getting up close and personal is the hull is reinforced with heavy armor plating. The demolisher cannon is consecrated and prepared for service through sacred forge rituals. The transformation of the Rhino transport to a Vindicator siege tank is a lengthy and demanding undertaking, requiring extensive labor, specialized craftsmanship, and as a result, Vindicators are highly valued assets within the chapter's armored reserves, carefully maintained and preserved as enduring engines of destruction, with the chapter's most striving to retain a sizable complement with their armories. It feels like one of these will do the job, but it seems like everyone wants a ton.
Yeah, why use one?
Why wouldn't you? Like,
you can have 6.
Like, yeah, if you could, why not? I really like the 30k one though, with like, I don't know what sort of gun that is. That like you've got the ones that are like that one, where it's like
that's like a laser destroyer. We do
and
talk
that one
about
to the right as well, where it's like rather than just like firing a massive slug that's just going to put a massive solid hole in the wall, it's firing like that one as well. The Ultramarines one, just that one too. Like they're some crazy guns that are just going to be like,
yeah.
It feels more right to have the massive like slug thrower.
Yeah,
but those ones, those look
lasers
cooler. They look cooler.
So speaking of armament, the Vindicator's immense destructive power is centered upon its massive demolisher cannon, a siege weapon engineered to obliterate fortifications, bunkers, and heavily defended strong points, firing heavy rocket-assisted demolition shells. So much like the real-world Sturmtiger that we were talking about earlier, it's a rocket-assisted shell. It's so big, it's so heavy. You need to put rockets in the shell.
Also, if it's not big enough, just make it fly faster.
Yeah, and also if that rocket assisted shell wasn't enough, it's also consecrated before battle. The weapon,
yeah,
it's all okay.
The
now,
Emperor
don't
wills
panic.
it.
Don't panic.
The Emperor has willed that wall to collapse. It's fine.
And as a result, the weapon can reduce entire structures to shattered ruins within moments, burying defenders beneath collapsing masonry and pulverized debris. Because, of course, if being shot at by a massive rocket-assisted shell isn't enough, if it doesn't kill you, chances are you get crushed.
If you're not vaporized by the blast, like
bloodied,
all your internal organs and bones shattered through the concussive blast.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna mow you down with a bulldozer and drive over you.
And if that didn't do it, he's gonna call you a heretic, and that's when your heart really hurts.
yeah, there's that. But then again, sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah.
Again, we've said it before. Khan survived the dozer blade, so sometimes it's not enough.
It's
There's never enough.
It's because they didn't follow on by calling him a poo-poo head.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. They didn't stand over him and go, "You're a filthy heretic, and I hope you burn in the fires of the warp," and that would have done it. That would have done it. That would have been the final straw, and we'd have no more betrayer.
Yeah.
10,000 years later, and 1,000,000.
10,000 years later, look, all the bodies that could have been saved. Fuck.
Yeah, but all of those brains for missiles.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
True.
I get it.
True.
This
That
is
keeps
where
an
the
economy
efficiency
moving.
of the
Well,
the
yeah.
efficiency of the Imperium comes in.
It's just like ecosystems. You've got to keep some like predatory animals around just to kind of like cull the herd, keep things moving forward. You got to keep it going.
Yeah.
So, to sustain the operation of such a formidable weapon, the Demolisher cannon is fed by a robust automated loading system incorporating cranes, loading ramps, and reinforced ammunition handling machinery. Massive hydro-compressive recoil absorbers are built into the gun assembly to contain the tremendous force generated during firing, while exhaust vents positioned behind the targeting system disperse the cannon's rocket backblast.
So is this Dave again?
They've thought about this. They've really
thought about this one. This one's actually got some thought behind it. But is this Dave again, where it's like a servitor loading these shells? Because I mean, it's the Imperium, so they're not just going to have like an automated crane when they could have a servitor crane.
It's Imperium automation.
Nothing's automated when it's just a lobotomized human operating a crane.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Probably a lobotomized ogrin carrying the shell and popping it in the back.
Yeah, you need a couple guys to carry that shell. It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen
for me,
a real back angle before.
It's going to be one of those guys with like the servitor with like the forklift arms, like loading that shell in and popping it in, probably.
What I can't work out with that shell though, why has it got a rim on it? Because I'm presuming that you're loading from the front. It's not a breech.
Yeah, it's not a breech gun.
So you're loading
it's
from the
it's
front.
rocket propelled. It's loading from the front, and it looks all like it's got the It just looks like a bullet. It looks like a 5.56 that's been like, that's a missile.
That's a missile.
That'll do.
So you're saying we need to change this out? I don't know what the fuck you guys just said, but you're talking about breaches and front loading. But
yeah, so with this, where
I know
it's like
a musket.
So it's going to come from the front because it's like a rocket that's basically. So in World War II, you had like what was called the spigot mortar, which was like basically like a spring-loaded like shot, a spring-loaded like firearm at the front. So it's going to be the same process in this, but with like a rocket. So you put the rocket down the barrel, and then the rocket's going to propel it forwards. Like it's not going to be like a classic firearm where you're going to strike like the pan, and it's going to fire the bullet out. Whereas that's what that is, where you've got like a warhead on the end, and then like you've got like the shell with the powder in it, and it's going to fire the warhead off.
All I'm thinking is you could have the propellant and the rockets ignite when it's at a certain
I mean,
point.
it could be like a giant bolter shell, right? Where you've got propellant and a rocket, and
it's the 41st millennium. It could be anything. We've
could
got
have
brains in missiles.
There's brains.
Yeah. We may be overthinking this one. We might be looking at this through.
Listen, none of us have brains in missiles. I don't think we should be talking about this anymore.
Yeah, unless we want to become brains in missiles.
Yeah, and get some
Don't
real
question too much. So naturally, with shells that big, the Rhino chassis sacrifices its troop carrying capacity entirely in favor of ammunition storage, allowing the Vindicator to carry substantial reserves of demolition shells ready for prolonged siege operations. So it's sitting and shooting for some time, so it needs the ammo. Fair enough. Additional rounds are maintained within the loading system itself, ensuring rapid access during combat. Some patterns further enhance this capability through dedicated crane winch mechanisms that accelerate reload procedure. For close range defense, the vehicle is also equipped with a storm bolter, naturally, to engage enemy infantry attempting to approach the tank. I mean, if I'm in that tank and infantry are approaching, that gun's going boom again.
I'm just accelerating. It's got like a dozer ramp on it, right?
Yeah, but then you have to
just drive forward.
Then you have to clean the dozer and
no.
You got serfs for that.
You got serfs have to clean that dozer blade, and if they do a bad job, they're going in the missile. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're gonna do a good job.
Yeah. But again, like this one is like as standard equipped with a storm bolter, but all the other ones you kind of have to. It might. But it might not.
I
It might.
suppose this is leaning much more to being the tip of the spear.
Also, that
know-
gun, that gun's not going to be used in like an anti-infantry role, right? Thinking about it, Generally, you're not
It's
going
to be a bunker buster.
Yeah. Whereas with like the AA guns and things, like effectively you're operating like a flak minigun. If you really wanted to and you were getting overrun, you could lower your trajectory and just blast the infantry away with that. You could have a storm bolter on top, sure, but you could operate your main weapon as an anti-infantry platform, like 100%.
Yeah. And like you said, like the Vindicator is like forward at the front of the army, so it's going to be using that storm bolter every engagement. It's going to run dry, where like the Whirlwind, like it might not ever use that.
It's going to punch that hole, it's going to dozer that hole, and then drive through that hole, mowing with the guys behind it, like pouring through the breach.
Just imagine the poor guys that built the storm bolter, like the sacrifice of the storm bolter that ended up on the Whirlwind that never did anything.
It's a waste. It's a damn shame. You know, they gave their brains and all types of body parts for that
brains, various digits.
They've still served the Emperor because their brains in a missile, their bodies like put into a stalker, corpse starch. You're gonna serve the Emperor in one of these artillery pieces, or multiple, apparently, of these artillery pieces.
So we took the brain for the missile, we took the limbs for the controls.
Yep. It is such a classic design, though, right? Like, you couldn't really change it.
I think the Vindicator was the first Warhammer tank I ever looked at.
Yeah, it's awesome.
First 40k tank that I ever saw, way back when I think I was about 10 years old. I went to a model shop and I saw Warhammer for the first time, and just looking at the Vindicator, that was it.
I was 10 when I got into Warhammer again. Like the Vindicator, it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
Also, it's something they can't change it. Everything has been graverized. You're not gonna put that.
You grab that one, it just like fucking blows itself into the ground. Like,
yeah, you're not gonna grab it. Like it can't. It physically has to stay the same. Like there's no way you're gonna grab that.
You're not worrying about the backblast of the gun; it's the backblast of the tank going 15 miles.
The tank's just going to fly through your infantry formation behind you.
See, this is where you can actually stick yourself into the ground would work. It's a bunker, or at least for firing.
Yeah, just like latch on, fire, and then roll through. Yeah.
Cool. The equipment. Most Vindicators are equipped with heavy dozer blades and reinforced siege shields, allowing them to force a path through collapsed fortifications, shattered urban streets, and battlefield debris with relentless momentum. Constructed from massive slab of thick ply steel, the dozer blade serves not only as an engineered tool, but as an additional layer of frontal protection, helping the vehicle absorb punishment while advancing directly into the heart of enemy defenses. When necessary, the assembly can be jettisoned to maintain mobility under extreme combat conditions. Oh, that's cool. They got kind of like your blade gets tangled up in too much rubble or something like that. You just hit the red switch and it pops off.
And that mobility in armored vehicles is what makes you truly survivable. Is being able to get out of a situation. And if your dozer's stuck in a massive pile of Tyranids, it's probably not best to stay there. So the fact that you can just jettison it, and it could add some really cool bits for your models if you wanted. That's why some of them don't have them, because they're the older ones.
Maybe that's why we had like the mini dozer blade on the Demios pattern. Maybe it had already jettisoned its main blade, and that was like a backup blade.
These things also have hunter killer missiles, havoc missiles if you're chaos, additional armor plating. I never noticed that that additional armor plating takes away the two side doors by the look of it.
Yeah, it looks awesome though. It's like, again, it's like that World War II aesthetic where you're using like tracks as additional plating.
Stormbolter, toss one of those bad boys on there.
Is that an extra one, or is that just on top of the?
It might be an extra one.
It did say they had them as.
Because this one doesn't have two like top hatches to attach pintle mounts to.
That's fair.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty cool though. It's got a pretty beefy engine as well. So the Vindicator is powered by a rugged quad Mark II adaptable thermatic combustion reactor. Because we all know one of those is. Of course. My car's run by 3 of those. A dependable engine system capable of providing the immense energy required to move the vehicle's heavy armored hull and operate its massive siege weaponry under the harshest of battlefield conditions. So it sounds like it's got a better engine than your average kind of like Whirlwind, Rhino, things like that. It's got like that, almost like effectively like a supercharger to like plow through the rubble, punches a hole, plows through the rubble, uses its like shield, dozer ramps, better engine to just like finish punching that hole through.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing looking at the technical specs, we've gone full circle back to the Bolter magazine. That vehicle,
800 rounds.
800 rounds.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's got 800 of those massive missiles plugged into the side.
But they're not just stored. You've not just got some stowage lying about. This is all in an automatic feeder.
Yeah, what the?
Apparently.
So it's going to be like one of those.
So
old
where's the guy
train
going to
sets.
drive it? He can't.
Yeah.
If the gun's at the front, the automatic thing, like loading 800 shells through, where's he going to sit to drive it?
Well, where's the driver? Where's the gunner? Because in theory, the gunner needs line of sight.
Oh man, I love it. I think we found the biggest fuck up of numbers there. Maybe if they said 80, you're like, well, okay, maybe
80 fine, 80's fine. 800's crazy. Like even if it is like breech loading and it's like an artillery piece and you load it, open up at the back and load it in.
What was that one German tank that this is based off of called again? The Tiger?
The Sturm Tiger.
Yeah,
Sturm Tiger. Yeah. STURM Tiger.
Yeah, I want to figure out how much its gun weighs, like the rocket weighs. Because then we go do that by 800 and then we know how many tons of fucking munitions it carries. But carry on. I'll find out my dirty information. Don't you worry about
So
that.
it's got a
just to put it into
65 mil turret.
So just to put it into perspective,
Yeah.
the Basilisk only carries 30 rounds.
It's crazy. 800. That Stern Tiger carries 14 in it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Unless, like we were saying earlier, the actual shell they're talking about is like the warhead. And then you've got the shell that's like propelling that warhead out. So maybe you've got 800 warheads and maybe like 10. But again, like we're really like forcing lore into this, right? Like
again, we're thinking too much. We've got brains and missiles.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new.
We got
brains and
brains.
We're not thinking like artillery men where you just saturate the battlefield, you know? We're thinking like
I mean, you're definitely going to be how many walls are going to be left standing? Like arguably the size of these rounds, you don't need 800.
No. These are like the German ones at least weigh 750 to 830 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes, like they're massive.
Times 8.
Like,
and they.
How is this driving?
The supercharged engines, as you mentioned.
No wonder it's got a thermic combustive reactor. Like, it's basically using. It sounds like it's using like the same energy as like the core of a planet.
Sure. Yeah.
So, if the Vindicator itself wasn't specialized enough, there are actually different variants of the Vindicator. To fulfill different specialized battlefield roles. So they'd change your power plant, your armor layouts, internal configuration, because you've got to make room for actual human beings or Astartes being inside.
No, just ammunition. Only ammo.
Yeah. I think if you put it up to the logistics officers, that would be the case. But they're all derived from the Rhino chassis. So the Deimos Pattern Vindicator. The Deimos Pattern Vindicator was an early siege and assault tank employed by the Legion Astartes throughout the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. Though ancient in origin, a number of these armored war machines are believed to remain in service within the arsenals of certain Space Marine chapters, preserved as durable relics of a bygone age. That's a real throwback, like rugged reliability, and I think that's kind of the epitome of the Vindicator within the Astartes.
It's not really changed either. Like you look at it, sure, like there's a few changes to maybe some aesthetic bits. Like on that one, you've got some like external exhaust and stuff, but it's a Rhino with a big gun on the front. It's not really changed drastically.
No. So unlike the standard Vindicator, this pattern could be fitted with a formidable magma laser destroyer array, transforming the vehicle into a dedicated anti-armor platform capable of burning through even the heaviest enemy battle tanks. So again, it's going back to that sort of World War II self-propelled gun.
It's just like your anti-armor.
This is what we're going to use. The weapons output could be further enhanced through the installation of massive power capacitors occupying space normally reserved for ammunition storage. These systems allowed the laser destroyer to sustain a far greater rate of fire. Through such overcharged operation, placed tremendous strain upon the vehicle's power network and carried the constant risk of catastrophic overload. Because that's what you want in a tank. You want the opportunity
overload. Yeah.
for a catastrophic
You want your reliable
overload.
tank to be not
It's
reliable.
like rolling a 1 on a laser pistol, but times 100. But even the look, right? When you've got that gun, it even looks like some of the early models of like the German tank hunters, where they had like the AT gun, or like pretty much just like an armor piercing like AT howitzer, just mounted on top of a chassis with like shielding around it. It's same kind of gun
something
model.
something like the Stug,
yeah,
3,
Stug
4,
3.
which
it's even earlier than that. You had like that kind of like dual, like obviously it's not dual barreled, but you've got like the Stug's obviously got that single barrel, but you've got like the earlier Hunter killers where it had like that. Almost more of a howitzer, where it had like that second piece underneath.
Things such as the Marder.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Then like the Marder and the Nashorn and things like that. Yeah.
So you've got, again, nothing's new.
No,
I mean, Brainton's missiles is, but
they're still slinging swords in 40k. Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
Yeah, like if they're gonna rock a sword, there's no reason why they can't bring a Sturmgeschütz to fight. Like, of course, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
So I'm now just going to bring in a load of models of World War II tanks and just proxy them for Vindicators.
Yeah, 100%. Like, just get a bunch of Airfix models and just put a Space Marine on top. That's fine.
But not the entire Space Marine, just the head.
Just the head. Just the head. Only the head. Just the tip.
All we need.
But it's the same. Like, obviously, you've got like it's the same as like guard models and things like that. Like, you can just proxy in like World War I tanks, like Mark IVs and things, and just turn it into a guard tank. Easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So many legions adopted the Deimos pattern as a frontline battle tank, where its combination of armored resilience and devastating anti-vehicle firepower earned it a reputation as a highly effective tank hunter across countless campaigns. Obviously, they're popular. I think any vehicle that can destroy other vehicles is going to be popular with the guys on the ground.
Yeah.
Unless you have a catastrophic failure.
Unless you have a catastrophic overload failure. Yeah, of course.
But even then, that's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. Everyone's just going to stop fighting and just watch it. Like,
I've now got
they look cool. Like that gun. Yeah. It's like watching a naval battle.
Mm-hmm.
And like a magazine go off and everyone just stops and is like, ooh. But like that gun just looks awesome. It just looks cool.
Yeah. Many barrels. Well, that was all the artillery tanks we have. We do have a couple honorary mentioned, but we did talk about them already on the last episode, and that's the Land Raider Achilles, the Land Raider Ares and the Land Raider Helios, where these are all just Land Raiders that have artillery guns in it. Like the Helios has the Whirlwind rocket pod on top of it, and the Ares has the demolition cannon inside of it. And the Achilles has the Techmarine Thunderfire cannon. Maybe if you guys read some of those real quick, I'll pull up some pictures.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'll just kick off with the Achilles through primarily a siege and assault vehicle. The Achilles is often considered an artillery asset due to its Thunderfire cannon, which allows it to deliver sustained bombardment against fortified positions while advancing through the heaviest enemy fire. So in effect, that's moving up with the troops. You've got the Vindicators to absolutely hammer a position. These guys are continually firing as it's moving forward.
Yeah,
So
it's like an artillery cannon, like brought level, firing on like a flat trajectory, just like through the enemy.
Yeah, this one does have one of those nice spinning Gatling cannons. So
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
You've also got like the Land Raider Helios. So the Land Raider Helios earns its artillery designation through its long-ranged missile launcher system. We've had a lot of that today, so that definitely finds its way in the artillery bracket, enabling it to provide indirect fire support on the battlefield. Bombardment far beyond the reach of conventional Land Raider weaponry. So yeah, again, that very much fits into like the mold of what we've had today, where you've got a lot of like rockets firing over long distances, over the horizon, saturating fire.
Cannons piercing things at precise distances.
Yeah, very much like saturating fire. It almost feels like it's like a duplication of effort compared to like we've already had like Vindicator, like Helios doing the exact same thing. It's just a Land Raider version.
Yeah,
it's just the same with guns on the side.
Yeah, bigger version. And we do have the Ares, which is the siege artillery vehicle because of massive demolisher cannon and hull-mounted weapon systems that are designed to demolish fortifications, bunkers, and defensive strongpoints through overwhelming explosive firepower. Yeah, you toss some flamers on the side of that bad boy, and you blow up the bunker, and anyone else, you just burn them.
That's awesome. Like, it's a Vindicator with extra. Like once you're through the hole, you just turn those like flamers sideways. Yeah, with extra vindication. Emperor's Justice, I like to call it.
Yeah, it's like a Vindicator just got started pumping roids.
Yeah. As soon as you're through that hole, you just turn those pintle mounted like sides, like flamers, storm bolters, just like spray to whoever's still standing the other side of the wall.
Very cool. Fucking love it. Well, like. It's unfortunate because we did all those artillery pieces just to be outed by the Land Raider Ares as my favorite tank once again, just like the last episode.
Yeah, to be fair, like there's no beating
God damn you, grown-up Vindicator.
No, the Vindicator still
all it needs
still
a couple of rocket pods. A couple of rocket pods on the back.
Oh, man.
Brain targeted rocket pods, and it's there.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite tank that we talked about tonight?
I mean, the Ares Vindicator is pretty special. But the Vindicator is always like it's always just going to hold that special point in the heart. Always. I mean, it's just so iconic as like a.
Yeah. See, I never knew about the Stalker, and I think that's the whole concept of it is really cool. The single fire or the dual fire.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I
love it.
Like,
double spinning barrels.
Yeah. With Dave,
I don't like the Hunter.
Dave controlling the whole thing.
Mine missiles.
Yeah, the mine missiles. It's a bit crazy.
The concept is cool. It's very grimdark.
Yeah,
but
I prefer the servitor controlling dual miniguns than a brain targeting a missile.
Like I'm putting myself in the world. If I'm the servitor, I feel like I'm having more fun firing two guns than being.
It's like Space Invaders, just being like. Beep, 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 beep.
Well,
But I
that's
mean,
where you're wrong, and there's just no way to tell you that, to show you that.
There's nothing more special than the Emperor's Righteous Justice as you feel your missile self penetrate the enemy aircraft. Because you're thinking,
joy.
you're also slightly consciously aware because you've had to think about what to do next. Whereas the servitor self, you're just targeting and shooting. You can actually enjoy the destruction.
So what you're saying is your decision is based entirely on the enjoyment of penetrating.
Destructively penetrating Xenos to their death. Yeah. That's real Imperial justice right there.
I mean, for me, what I would say about Astartes artillery, especially, you've kind of got the two trains of thought. You've got close support artillery with the likes of the Vindicator for the urban stuff, and you've got missiles.
It is very missile heavy. Missile heavy.
You start comparing it to the Guard, and they've got a lot of different artillery units designed for different jobs.
Yeah.
Whereas the Astartes, I know they've got different ammunition. Don't get me wrong. That will definitely cover off a few things. But it's either, let's saturate or let's blow one singular thing up very well.
Yeah. Or if things get really close, we can stick a missile launcher on the back of a single Astartes. It's fine. There's missiles all the way down.
Yeah. Very cool.
Don't fix it.
That's an episode of Lorehammer. Thanks, boys, for joining me. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me along.
Great time.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
If you have lore that you want to submit, come join Lorehammer. Listen to the podcast. You can email lorehammerpodcast@gmail.com, and you can be like T, share your lore, have a conversation with me, keep me busy. And if you want any of these tanks that we mentioned, go to Merlin's Miniatures, promo code Lorehammer, or there's like a link in the description below, I believe, as well. And yeah, you can do that. I sell minis, and every now and again I get a small little check for a couple bucks for minis I sold. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna go buy minis myself with that. So come support the show by doing it that way, and join the Patreon and all that kind of fun stuff. Cool, boys. Well, we'll definitely have you guys on another episode. It was fun. You guys clearly know tanks. Let's see what else you know about 40K, huh?
I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things, but none of it's very useful in modern day society. So it's fun. It's probably very useful.
Yeah. Do you guys have any shout outs you want to do or anything?
Honestly,
I'm simply going to shout out the lady that was wearing this hat in the photo I put up on Discord because Pick saw it didn't happen.
Yeah. Her poor back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she's gonna ruin it. She'll learn one day. But yeah. So hi Eva.
Nice. Cool. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you all on the next episode of Lorehammer. Adios.
See you later.